We have started the recording.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Senezal's Archivists. I don't remember what episode number we're on anymore. It's been 3 weeks since our last episode. There's been just a slew of disruptive behavior from all those involved. No, I'm kidding.
I think it's been 4.
It's been 3.
Has it been 3?
This
my
is
God.
the 4th. This would be the 4th week.
It feels like
The
so much
last time
longer.
we met, the last time we played was the 3rd of April. It's
Yeah.
the 1st of May today.
Yeah, we're on session 15, by the way.
15?
15.
Let's
Okay.
go.
I heard 50 at first and I was like, that can't be right.
Yeah, we've just been doing the sessions
5
without you
years.
for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, like, what?
Every single day.
Like that's where my other campaign is at this point. I think we're on session 60. So it's
Oh,
like
God.
no, that's like a 3-year long campaign. There's no way we're there.
Hell no.
But anyways, off track a little bit. Yeah, so there's just been a few disruptive behaviors. No, I had to come back to Canada. I think Corb went camping, and then I had exams. So, it is what it is.
And
anyways, we're
everybody
back
was
now.
ill.
Yes, everybody
We all got
sick
sick.
at some
Every
point.
single one of us.
Yeah, we all got the Rona at some point. No,
Oh.
probably not.
No, oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
No,
I got the shot.
we've all been fine. But no, we're back and ready to play. Last time, like I said, it's been a while, so bear with me. There might be a few gaps in my memory, but you guys arrived in oh my god. Bell something.
Braltanog.
Braltanog.
Holy crap.
I got you.
we were
I got
just
my
talking about it, too.
notes up. I got it.
I do too.
Barb,
I
do
just
you want a
they were like,
DM?
And so it begins.
Braltanog. Holy crap. And you went on some fact-finding missions to figure out where the hell to start your search for this lost Giraduan lab. And you split the party, which is typically ill-advised, but in this case worked out in your favor. Keothi and Remy went to the old coal miners bar and just talked up a bunch of really drunk dwarves, really schmoozed their way in and got some good info.
Channel my inner
Yes, channeled your inner Nori as I think was your intention initially. The other two, being Nori and Xylia, went to the local thieves guild after a little bit of figuring out where that was. Actually, I think Kimeth knew where it was.
Yeah, Kimeth took us.
Yeah. And Xylia attempted some ill-advised tampering with a fighting match, which ended up with him getting his shit kicked in. Nori did also do a little bit of tampering herself, but without magic, which is less of a heinous crime in the eyes of these more simple might not be the right word,
Thieves?
but mundane thieves. No, I meant simple as in like incapable of using magic, not,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the word I was looking for. And after almost losing her entire inheritance to to one particular rogue, she managed to win, mostly because Kimeth was able to actually see the guy cheating, and called him out on it. So she got all her shit back, and he said that he would help them set up whatever incursion they wanted into under the city, which is where you've pretty much figured the lab must be, is within the mines themselves. Probably something that's been uncovered in the past and then closed back up again, which I believe Keothi and Remy
I know, like, the floor. I know
Yeah.
about.
You
it's-
inferred exactly to which area they were talking about.
Yeah. I can
Let
get
the
it down to like
geotag
a
on his
block.
phone.
And I know where to get the exact number of the
Yes.
exact door.
I believe also you learned a little bit about the library where these archives are kept in terms of like learning what's within them. So that is something you could also possibly check out. And he said that the only way to gain access to the library is to have a job that involves going into those closed off areas. Or I guess sneak in, but that wasn't something he recommended. After all that, we're gonna kind of just fast forward and assume. I think there was the intention to talk to another representative, Kevin of the planning community, who was also.
We don't need to. We got what we needed.
I think so we can assume that you talked to him, and pretty much most of the information you got from him coincided with what Nori and Xylia got. And we'll assume that you made your way back eventually after a long night of schmoozing and carousing to pass out back at the guild hall. However, we have two very important RP moments as you are sleeping. First with Nori, who upon finally hitting the hay and sleeping and just getting comfy for the night.
I do want to say that before we go to bed, I did remind Kimmeth about the fact that he promised to say a little prayer to Shano for me.
Yes.
So.
And that is quasi what prompts this.
Woohoo!
That's not the one I want, is it? Yes, it is. That feels a lot louder than it normally is. Hold on.
It's about right, I think.
They're like screechy chords.
Am I getting abducted by aliens?
Yes. Yes.
Finally.
A green beam comes in through your window and
Yay!
lifts you off into the night.
Take me away.
It's going up to the normal decibel limit, so I think you should be fine.
Okay. You return a little bit sore, in sensitive areas the following morning. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
The old aliens abducting and probing.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No.
She's gonna have an alien baby. We're
I'm
gonna
slightly
fight it.
green. I'm slightly greener than when I.
You're more of a sea foam now than a deep blue.
Not the sea foam.
Yes. Not the sea foam. So in your sleep, and you know that this is a dream because it doesn't feel right enough to be awake, or at least it's certainly not in the waking world as far as you can tell.
I've gotten really good at lucid dreaming.
No, but you're aware more so than you would be normally in a dream. It's not something you're familiar with. However, the environment around you is familiar, as it seems to be this big, empty, dark landscape with pinpricks of light just sort of in the far, far distance, almost like you're in the middle of the night sky. And ahead of you is a large metal door with sigils and little inscriptions kind of running the gambit from top to bottom. And it appears to be firmly shut currently. There's no like bar or anything on it. There doesn't even appear to be handles. You're not entirely sure how it would open, but it doesn't look like it's connected to any wall. It just seems to be kind of this door hanging in the middle of the space.
Is this where I get my younger brother's soul back to put into his metal body?
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh, no, it's all
No.
downhill from here.
I'm sorry.
Alphonse.
I'm sorry.
But you've been here once before.
Okay.
Back before your name was Nori.
Cool. Yep. And I recognize that, right? Like this
You
isn't new to me.
recognize that, yeah.
Okay. What can I read the sigils on the door at all? Did I try to do
They
that?
don't
the
appear to
last
be
time?
any form of language as far as you can tell.
Okay.
If anything, you'd say there's some like bizarre attempt to depict a landscape, but in a very fractal way. Like it's almost looks like it's trying to be 3D.
Okay. I'll kind of just quietly mumble like thank you Kimmeth, like under my breath, because I'm pretty sure at that point I can connect that it possibly has something to do with him. So
Okay. And you can see there's not exactly like light here. While the area kind of has this a little bit of a glow to it, giving your night vision something to actually hold on to. It's still very dark, and there's no like backdrop of lighting to actually light this door. It seems to be almost glowing from within. Meanwhile, you can see the silhouette of a rather tall woman, maybe about 9 feet tall. And you can tell it's a woman purely by like the length of the hair, the kind of willowy body shape. But you can't really make out any features of them apart from the fact that they have longer hair. And a familiar voice speaks to you from there, who you would recognize from your one other time speaking to her. I heard that you had intentions to help me with my business. You wish to speak to me about how you may help me?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, love the place is the same. Don't ever change. Looking good, really cool. Enjoy, the door. Just very good presence. It's good. Okay. Anyways, yeah. All right. So hey, how's it going? I didn't think that this was gonna happen so fast. This is like you're like, man.
We have an existing familiarity.
True. Yeah. No,
I will say I didn't send you back here so that you could help me. I told you that you may live out your life as it was intended, and then eventually return. I don't expect anything of you.
But like, what if that's like part of it? I don't know. I'm not sure.
And I don't want to make that part of the deal.
Mm.
You don't belong to me. Not yet.
Well, then what about Kimmeth though? He's like doing stuff. He
does that entirely of his own volition. Understand that our deal is done. You owe me nothing more.
Yeah, but I feel like he like got here and made a deal, and then he went back, and now he's all like, oh, like look at these cool things I could do, and I like kind of went back and I was like, I'm doing the same things I did as last time, so I don't know if maybe I like did I miss like the goodie bag kiosk on my way out,
devoted his life to my teachings in a way I'm not entirely sure you're ready for.
How come?
Nori, I don't know if you've noticed, but you are something of an agent of chaos. And I don't mean your magic.
Like my personality?
To an extent. You have a habit of speaking falsehoods where they need not be. You're flighty, prone to a change of decision at the drop of a hat. These are not things that coincide very well with my teachings. It's not to say they're bad. Everyone may choose to live their life as they wish. That is partially a part of what I wish to teach, but at the same time, if you are a representative of me, it's hard to teach everything I have to give, if that's the way that you conduct yourself.
Well, but so I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but it's all like balance and things in their place and like order and stuff and blah blah. So then, but then like you can't have Kimmeths if you don't got Noris. And vice versa, you can't have Noris if you don't got Kimmeths.
That is why there are followers of Darnua and followers of me.
Sorry, I just saw Corv in the corner. Remy in his sleep. Remy in his sleep, just hearing
dabbing.
some like dream dart. Yeah, just dabbing in his sleep.
I'm in a dream like you can't have Remy's without Nori.
While Darnua and I are certainly opposing forces, we don't physically oppose one another. We exist as a balancing act. If what you wish to represent is what you wish to represent, you would probably be better off speaking to Darnua.
At like that, when she like verbalizes that and kind of the comment on Nori representing chaos and stuff, Nori actually gets kind of like quiet and kind of turns into herself. Does that make sense? Like she is like, and she kind of sits there quietly for a little bit and like scratches the side of her arm a bit and actually like takes a second and kind of like looks at her hands, like she's kind of just sitting there and like looks back up to Shinova and she's kind of like,
that being said, I can help you. I am no stranger to the affliction that you are dealt in terms of your magic. The control you have over it is nebulous at times. Should you wish, we can work together to perhaps right that issue. Though you will be working with me very intensively on it.
Like a one-on-one peer mentorship. You come over to my house after school.
More like a vestige of myself within you until you can learn to control it yourself.
Is it gonna hurt?
No.
Okay. If it doesn't work, are you gonna be mad?
No, of course not. Like I said, you're permitted to conduct your life as you wish to conduct it. I have no interest in how you wish to live your life while you're upon Aberranth. Only when you come to me after it is when, well, you'll see.
That's not ominous. Okay.
It's nothing bad, I promise. It's just what comes after, and you can see the silhouette of her head turned towards the door.
Yeah. I think I'd like to try it.
Excellent. And if it's not your thing, then you can always embrace chaos.
Yeah, that gets tiring though.
I imagine it does. And it's caused no shortage of problems for you. I just want to help.
I mean, I feel like you've done a lot already, but I'll take it.
I merely permitted you to return. It was your own power that brought you back last time.
Okay. Yeah, why not? I mean, I did ask him to do this, right? I did ask him to talk to you.
You did. To ask how you may help. And I
Yeah.
feel if I can show those who may not follow me, but those who might be interested, that I offer more than simply an end, and that I can bring law and order back to one who's so chaotic, it might benefit me as well.
Ooh, I'll be like the poster child, right? Like new PR
Effective.
campaign. Because like I'm gonna say, after we met last time, I did like a little bit of I was like, all right, who's this Shanove lady? What's she all about and stuff? And you got some interesting peeps following you. Your external PR to like the entirety of what it feels like this land is not. You might want to hire a new campaign manager because I'm not feeling like I could do it if you. Yeah, poster child, face of the new campaign.
It doesn't concern me how people choose to follow me. It doesn't concern me if people do choose to follow me. Though, if people weren't so scared of me, that could also be helpful.
Yeah.
I don't offer them pain. I offer them salvation, eternity. Also the end. But
Yeah.
it means something different to you, perhaps.
Yeah. We'll figure out like a really good way to spin this, right? Like I'm liking some of the buzzwords that you're throwing in. I'm thinking that we can really get this. Keyed up.
Nori,
Just
the
right.
liberal campaign manager. Holy shit!
Your in real life job is showing through here.
Excellent. Well, then please give me your hand.
I'll reach out and give her my hand.
All right. Her hand is cool to the touch, and now that you're closer to her, you can actually sort of make out at least just the hand itself, and sort of as like her arm and whatever clothing she currently has on, which appears to be this long dark robe from what you can tell, the sleeve of which hangs almost down to her waist. And the hand itself is, like I said, she's a very willowy figure, and her hand and arm seem to be just as thin, almost skeletal by the looks of them. There's not a whole lot of meat on them bones, if you know what I mean. And in holding her hand, you feel that, contrary to the cold of her skin, you feel this warmth fill your body briefly, followed by this yellowish radiant glow that seems to cover your skin and almost burns a little bit. And as she breaks contact, that burn dissipates into this warmth that you now can kind of just feel under the surface of your skin at times.
I'll kind of set my hand on my chest a little bit. I don't know, just kind of like, ooh. Okay. All right.
It might take some getting used to. Divine
Yeah.
power is a lot for a mortal to hold on to.
Yeah, it's like tingly. It's like if you do this.
Something like that. It's
Yeah.
raw life, I suppose, might be the best way to describe it.
Interesting.
I'll
Like a
let you get
different
back to
life,
it.
like a second life.
No, more like creation itself.
Might be like, and like make stuff now. Is that what I got?
Perganonite.
It may take you a little while to figure out exactly how your newfound abilities work, though I will say you might be a bit more apt at healing people than you were before.
I mean, you and I both know that that's probably a good thing, huh?
Undoing some of the wrongs, perhaps, yes.
Oh boy, man! If only we had this sooner, huh? And Nori is smiling very wide, laughing, but like her eyes are like very tearful right now.
It's unfortunate that this power wasn't within your grasp when it should have been, but I can't reach out unless I'm asked for. And without your knowledge of events that would occur, my hands were tied.
No, that makes sense. Better late than never.
I will let you get back to your rest. You've had
Yeah.
a long night.
Mm-hmm.
You are slightly inebriated.
Never. Can't have one without the other. All things balanced.
Watch the fibs as well, please.
Oh, okay. I mean, technically, that's not all fibs, right? Like sometimes it's just like maybe it's a recoloring of a story. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll be more mindful of it.
I'm not asking you to stop. Again, conduct yourself however you wish.
Mhm.
But it might reflect poorly upon myself.
True.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Sleep well.
How many more times do I get to come back here? Is there like a punch card?
Like I said the first time we met, I will permit your soul to re-enter Aberranth 2 more times. After which, should you re-enter Aberranth again, you would not re-enter it as yourself. And I simply can't permit it. Your
Okay.
soul would be too ragged. You would not be...
So I've already
Lord.
used 2 times? No, like from
No,
now.
you've used
Starting
once.
now, I got 2 more times. No, I got 1 more time.
No, you've only been here once in soul form. I'm purely speaking to your psyche currently.
Ah, okay. So I got 2 more.
Yes, you didn't die this time.
True. I mean, I could have. I'm not
You
dead, right?
didn't.
I'm not in that bed dead, right? We all went to bed in we all went to sleep in like the same bed, because so that would be really hard for them if they woke up in the morning. Like, "Ugh."
I've sort of reverse astral projected you to me to speak to you.
Okay.
I didn't kill you, no.
Oh, thank you. Whew.
You hear a voice in the distance, and it's just all of them crying and Remy, please stop.
I told you that mushroom was one too many.
Goddamn recreational mushrooms.
All right. Well, I'll make sure not to use my last 2 punches too quickly.
Like I said, your life will live out the rest of its course, and I'll see you when it does.
God, that's dark.
What if I wanted to like come meet you like this again? Do I just go, oh, please, like tonight, let me talk to
Try not to abuse it, but in
Chanel."
times
Okay.
of need, perhaps.
Okay.
My hands are not tied, but restrained in how much I can affect the world you live in.
Reasonable. That's
otherwise,
understanding.
gods would walk the earth and do their will whenever they wanted.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the best.
No. We have avatars that do our bidding for us.
Actually, now that I'm here, I know I'm taking up your time. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna leave real soon.
You're going to be very tired in the morning. This is taking up a lot of your energy.
Do you know Orgle? Do you guys like go to the bars?
I know
or
her.
Like, okay.
We don't get along.
What's been going? Is she like usually? Does she usually like show up a whole bunch on Earth? Like not on Earth, on Aberrant? Does she like, or is she? I don't know. I feel like we've run into her a lot. Not her, but like some peeps. They're like we're at this one point, and these like shark people were like, we're gonna shove people down into this pit and like sacrifice for her. And
Nori,
I know that.
I do see a lot of your adventures. I'm aware of the things that you've been through. You don't need to explain it in vast detail to me.
Oh, okay.
Especially while traveling with Kimeth. He is one of my avatars, after all. One of few.
Am I an avatar now?
It's a complicated question, but long and short, yes.
Do we get like matching tattoos? Where does mine show up? Do I get to pick?
He doesn't have a tattoo. I don't have one either, though should you wish it, I suppose you could get my symbol tattooed upon you, though I don't recommend it. Like I said, I have bad PR.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, yes, I'm aware of the amount of dealings you've had with those who worship Orgle. The unfortunate matter is most sentient beings are more prone to evil than to good, and Orgle offers plenty of power for bad. The offerings that people make to her would normally come to me, though because they are offered to her, they go to her for the end. I'm cheated out of what is duly mine, effective. And at that,
you're like Disneyland, and she's like Eternal Damnation.
I'm not sure what Disneyland is, but no.
It's this idea that I've had kind of in the back of my mind for the, like, I'm thinking it like the happiest place on Earth.
Well, given mine wouldn't be on Earth, no.
True. Okay, well, I'll stop wasting your time. I'm sure you got like lots of stuff to do.
I'm doing them.
Damn, alright, well, next time we meet, I'm gonna ask you some more questions about your ability to multitask, because that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead. I should get some sleep. I'm tired. You're right, I am like a little bit inebriated still, so probably should sleep that off. Anything else before I go? Any tips?
Be well and stay safe.
Yep. I'll try my best. Okay, bye. I just turn around and start walking away.
As you say bye and turn around, the like stars around you seem to rapidly rise until you're just cloaked in darkness and you sleep dreamlessly for the rest of the night.
That deep sleep.
Like when you next wake up,
I had something to drink sleep.
When you wake up, you have one hell of a headache and you kind of forget where you are for like the first 5 minutes of you being awake because you're intensely disoriented.
Yeah, same as any old hangover.
Well, she wasn't kidding about how draining that would be for you. The next thing that happens during this great sleep is Xylia. After being knocked the fuck out and brought back to the guild to be put in bed, you have some fairly disturbing dreams. Possibly because you had your head knocked around quite a bit, but also you can see a lot of gnashing fangs and tearing of flesh, monsters feasting upon one another in your dreams, and you two find yourself in an odd landscape filled with what appear to be corpses, from what you can best tell, on varying degrees of decomposition. Towards the top is mostly fresher corpses with chunks of them missing, looking to be half eaten in some cases, and in other cases simply rotted away or died from what appears to be just battle, perhaps. And towards the bottom of this almost pyramid of corpses, they go from being mostly flesh, just mostly still having their flesh, to various points of like there's a lot of skeleton showing, to just downright bones all across the ground as far as the eye can see. And again, the atmosphere all around you is almost like being in the night sky itself, mostly just stars all about.
Okay.
And directly above you can see a pair of glowing white eyes staring down at you.
Okay.
And seemingly just waiting for something. There's just a foreboding feeling of malice coming from them.
I'll kind of quietly look up at the eyes and just say, "Hello?"
There's almost like a single line appears in the sky of like this kind of whitish light, which you gradually realize would be the mouth of these giant eyes, that slowly breaks into a grin lined with sharp teeth.
Like real teeth?
Hard to tell. Like they look again kind of like the light that's within the eyes almost. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't appear to be made of anything that's wholly physical.
Okay.
He says, "Welcome to Disneyland."
Yes.
Damn it. Took my idea.
I've seen those teeth before.
It's at that point kind of you begin to hear a scraping sound from below you, like further down this pyramid, and looking down, you can see what appears to be a very large black panther sort of walking in slow circles around you. When I say large, I mean like its shoulders are probably up to about your head.
Big old kitty.
Okay. Does it
Big
look
stretch.
like it's dangerous, like trapping me?
It's definitely stalking you, but it seems to not be making any moves towards you. It's just walking around you menacingly. And you can tell from this distance, it is mangy. It is not a healthy looking animal by any stretch of the imagination, and it's got all sorts of scars and scabs all across its body, especially around its face, which appears to be a sequence of white, like cuts all around it.
Where am I? What am I doing here?
You're in my realm, child of Zavich.
And what realm is this?
Orgul's.
I remember
We spoke
you.
briefly within the caves.
Yeah, I remember. I thought I'd have to sacrifice something to speak to you again.
No. You had to sacrifice something for the information.
Oh.
I've yet to get anything from you.
Yeah, I've been a little busy. Just a little busy. Have you summoned?
Impatient.
Have you summoned me here?
To an extent, your physical body remains on Aberynth.
Okay. Why am I here? Do you have information? Do you have something to tell me? Do you need something from me?
Sacrifices, and I grow impatient.
Okay. I apologize. I've been very busy. I've been trying to get information for myself and my friends to try and progress. I'll give you your sacrifices. I just can't do it straight away.
Your friends were weak within the boat you traveled within. You could have just as easily slaughtered them and given them as a gift to me.
I can't sacrifice my friends.
Why not?
I was thinking like a bird or like a squirrel.
I have no interest in birds and squirrels.
Huh. Well, what do you have interest in other than my friends?
If it must be something else, then the blood of something sentient. Something that can think, reason, feel pain, suffering.
I thought birds could do that.
They can't reason.
That's a very fair point. I've seen a lot of weird birds too, though. So you're thinking like you're wanting like human sacrifices, like living beings.
Yes. Not necessarily human, and it can be dwarves, it can be kobolds, it can be goblins, it can be
Thieves?
Elves. Thieves.
Interesting. What do you do with these sacrifices?
Why do you care?
Well, I mean, it's not really a care, I'm just kind of interested. If I cared, I wouldn't have asked about it.
If you must know. They're taken out of spite from the one who's laid claim to these souls.
Okay. So do you take their souls?
Yes, they become mine.
Huh.
To do with as I will. Until I eventually have to pass them over, but by that point there's not much left.
I see. What is stopping you from just doing that with me?
I'm not allowed to physically interfere with the affairs of Aberynth. I can speak, I can provide power, and I can provide knowledge, though I cannot use my own powers to affect those within Aberynth itself.
But yeah, you summoned me here, and I'm just curious why you wouldn't want, for example, my soul in return for information instead of.
Are you willing to offer me your soul?
I mean, I was just curious. I'm not suggesting any such thing.
I can't take it from you, though I can make you wish you did.
I think I'm good. What's with this panther? That's kind of. It looks like it wants to, like, have some food, maybe from like me.
Creature's just hungry.
Huh.
He's always hungry.
Is that his name, Creature?
It was.
Oh. Olgal, I'm kind of scared.
Good.
What, that there's a reincarnated house elf?
You're done fucked up, Silent.
How do I know do you know, is this information worth it that you have on me? Like I say, I don't really remember anything at all, and I'm only asking for memories.
What are the memories worth to you? Because I know your entire life up to this point, and perhaps even some that you might do.
It's worth quite a lot. I'll be honest. I do have a question for you. I know I haven't provided any sacrifices yet, but I'd be willing to make a promise that I will if you'll tell me a little bit of information. Do I have my things on me, like my belongings, even though it's technically just a spirit
Yeah,
thing?
you have like a kind of thought projection of what you are and what you.
Okay. I'll pull out my book, and
Okay.
I will very scaredly, if that's a word, just be like, I've had this book. I'm assuming you probably know more about it than I do, but it keeps having random kind of phrases written in it about things that we've done, and I checked it tonight, and this one is new, but it's not like the others. It's not something that I thought I already knew, and it says that I'm going to follow in my father's footsteps.
It says you've begun to follow your father's footsteps.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. That information is quite valuable to me and to other interested parties in keeping it secret. You provide me with the sacrifices I want, and I will divulge it to you. I will say the book itself is an artifact of the gods themselves. Something given to your father by someone looking to empower him in some way.
So this is my father's book?
It was always meant for you, as far as I understand.
I see. Okay. What kind of sacrifices would be necessary for that information?
The souls of 20 sentient creatures should be enough, I think. Simply, as you kill them, offer me a prayer as they pass.
Does it
I'll
matter
be
if
there to collect.
Does it matter if they're good people or bad people?
I don't care.
You just want the souls.
Kill my followers for all you care. Only the strong survive.
Kind of.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
First soul
Oh,
has
no.
been taken.
No.
I killed the DM.
Oh, that's gotta be worth at least 20 souls.
That's at least
Yeah, Discord keeps having memory leaks for me, and it turns off because my RAM gets over.
Is the overlay
Wait.
good, or do you need to adjust
No,
it?
it's fine. Olgul,
Oh,
what,
okay.
Olgul, what is RAM?
Tell me, great one.
Orgel, like, you're like talking in your dream to Orgel, and then Orgel like disappears, and you're like, "Oh, is that it?" And then he comes like, "Sorry, I'm having memory like on Discord."
I need to call
before-
fiber.
Damn, I got hit in the head real hard.
In before every time we talk to our gods from now on, it's via Discord.
Next time Luca,
Your gods are actually just in video chat.
next time Nori tries, she
Hold
just
on,
gets
let me
a
call Spectrum.
she just gets a message. You don't have the recommended amount of dedicated RAM.
No.
God damn it.
Oh. Okay.
Nori's
I
that
knew
Nori's
I should have gotten Nitro.
Nori's that follower where Shadov just has like her on like no notifications, and there's like a bubble with like 100+ in the corner of it.
It hurts to laugh. God damn you!
Okay. So,
Oh,
sorry. So 20 followers, and you don't care who it is.
20
You say
souls. They don't have to all be my followers, though.
Of
Should you
course.
kill 20 of my followers, I might be a bit more impressed, honestly.
Okay. So I'll be happy to do that. I'll be very happy to do that for the information.
Happy to do.
What kind of prayer would you need, or should I just use the symbol and just let you know?
A dedication of the deaths in my name would be best.
Oh, there could be a slight problem with that. Well, I mean, the friends that you wanted me to sacrifice, they don't know that I'm like this with,
That's your problem.
well, if I just go scream in the name of Ogle and then, you know,
You don't
death.
have to scream it.
Okay. So I can just say it very, very quietly. You'll hear it.
It simply needs to be audible.
I see. Okay.
I don't have a bad sense of hearing.
I gathered that. Yeah. Okay, good to know. So how would I come back here after the deeds are done?
I'll be in contact with you when the deeds are done. And don't try making another deal with me until this one is completed. I'm not interested in IOUs.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have enough on my plate before making any other deals anyway. Now I know you asked for souls and such. Like, this is valuable for you too, right? This isn't a one-sided deal, so if I do prove to be worth the time and the information, would you maybe be able to help me and my friends out if we get in any troublesome situations?
Like I said, don't try making new deals until this one's completed.
Well,
If
that's
you
just the
complete this one, we can
question.
talk about more.
Okay. I really like the Panther too. He seems kind of friendly now. Usually they like try and attack. I mean, usually they're not that big or malnourished or I think dead.
He's not malnourished. He's just always hungry.
Well, that's what I mean. Usually they'd eat me, but I'll try.
He doesn't eat you because he's not allowed to.
Oh, thanks.
It's not my doing.
Oh,
If he had his way, I'd let him eat you right now.
well, that'd be very rude. And you said my actual body's not here, so I don't know how that'd work. But he'd eat my
Souls
soul?
can be eaten. What do you think I do with the souls you'll bring me?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that is a pretty big mouth.
Narm.
Show me what that mouth do. I didn't say that,
Dude,
by the way. That was out of character.
fucking
Out of character.
Nori and Xylia both, their gods are just like, the fuck are these?
Now, Ogle, I've never done anything like this before. I don't really know what my calling is. I don't really know what it was. But I'm hoping I can kind of find out from this. I'm not a bad person, am I, for doing this?
The smile just increases.
What's good and bad is defined purely within your own mentality.
Strange. I've been told it definitely things that you can do affect that, and it's not just your mentality. Okay.
Then we have a deal.
We...
And-
Mm-hmm.
The face that's currently kind of hovering above you begins to become smaller and begins to descend towards you, as from the point where her face once was, you now see the look of a tall woman about 9, maybe 10 feet tall, wearing what appear to be hunting leathers and a great bow strung across her back. One of her eyes appears to have a scar running from the top of her forehead down to the side of her cheek and an eye patch covering it. And you can see she's still smiling, and her teeth appear to have been filed down either by herself or by somebody else to be pointed, almost shark-looking teeth that interlock together for that sharp, grinning smile. And she gradually appears upon this pyramid of corpses in front of you and holds out her hand, and you can see her nails too have been sharpened to be almost claws, almost like cat claws sticking out of her fingers, misshapen and like definitely altered in some way to look this way.
Okay. I will. Is she reaching out to like take my hand?
It looks that way, yes.
I'll put my book back in my bag and reach out and say thank you as I take her hand.
As you reach out to take her hand, she sinks her nails into the bottom of your palm and just rips up each of her nails, traveling along one of your fingers to create this like line going from your palm up to the tip of your finger. And she places one of her nails in her mouth, begins sucking the blood off, and says, "No, thank you." And you two fall into a deep, dreamless sleep.
Did I feel that when that happened?
It hurt. It hurt like a motherfucker, because her nails are sharp as scalpels.
Okay.
So is that kind of hurt where at first you didn't feel anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, my skin is separated.
Just like when Khaleesi bit my ankle. I get it.
Basically.
I get it.
Wait, Khaleesi is Orgel.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
Oh, she has cat claws too. Oh shit.
Yeah, Khaleesi asked me to make Orgel, like just like
She filled out the Google form.
We'll have some words.
she filled out the Google form.
Khaleesi's like, I got an idea for a character.
No fucking
Oh,
spooning for her
Jesus.
tonight.
Wait, if you remove all the letters in Orgel and replace them with the letters for Khaleesi, it spells Khaleesi.
I was actually scared. Like IRL, I was terrified at the beginning of that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jesus
did I
do?
Christ.
I just love it because Nori's over here like, hey God, how's it going? And she's like, oh, I'll help you, Nori. And then Orgel's like, bitch, where are my souls?
Yeah.
Kill your friend.
The
Kill
good
your
It's literally
friend.
been less than a day since you promised her, by the way. Like, I know a lot of time
Yeah.
has passed IRL, but like,
Oh,
it's
really?
been
Yeah.
like 12 hours.
Yeah, and she's
And
like,
she's already like, bitch, better have my
Like,
money.
hello?
The fucking
I didn't-
Rihanna song in the background was playing that whole time.
I didn't realize that. Holy shit. I should have asked that. God damn. Impatient bitch.
You told her you'd give her souls. She figured there's a bunch of available souls right there. What are you doing?
Yeah. I feel like now that we've had the discussion, though, she knows I ain't gonna fucking throw my friends into the pit of hell, and it's gonna be other things. It might be slightly better.
I may
She
be
might be
sacrificing souls, but I have a limit.
You do realize you're talking about the god of chaotic evil, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, because I don't even know that. Like in real
Yeah.
life, I don't really know that, and in character, do I know that?
You know that she's
I mean,
like,
chaotic evil is probably not something you would know in character, but you know that she's like the goddess of destruction, pride, envy. Like,
True. Yeah, we were told that
I
by
feel like,
the guy in the shop actually.
yeah, Vinny.
Vinny. Yeah.
my best friend.
I feel like the like the sacrificial spots we found and the fact that like you showed up on a pile of
Yeah.
corpses.
No, I get that, but out of character, this is a question. Even the good gods require sacrifices, no?
Oh,
Not like that.
Really?
not like that.
Nope.
Yeah, no, they ain't asking us to
Prayers.
kill friends. Yeah, like we do prayers and we like do nice stuff. We do like good
Like
nice stuff and
sacrificing
they're-
like the harvest or some shit.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
also
You're
be
like a
doing.
person.
In the little
That's-
god book for like Chondi, it's literally just like followers go to sleep with like a candle on.
No actual cleric of a god has ever been told that they require sacrifices from the gods.
Okay.
Priests will sometimes be like, oh, if we sacrifice part of our harvest to Chandi, maybe she'll give us better light for the coming harvest. But no cleric of Chandi has ever been, Chandi's telling me that we gotta do
Free
this.
souls, homie.
Yeah.
I feel okay. So as Xylia, now that he knows a bit more, if it was literally going to be like it had to be innocent people and stuff, he would have just backed out there and then. But now that he knows that it can be like, Ogle doesn't give a shit
she's
who
evil,
it is.
but she's also chaotic evil. She doesn't give a fuck who you give to her. She just wants.
And technically, I mean, you have like a good workaround in the sense that like we're already killing people.
That's what I was thinking.
Right?
In and out of characters, like the bandit camps and stuff. We kill like 7 people.
Yeah.
That's an
They're
easy
just-
7 sacrifices right there.
I'm
You
waiting
just
for
have
when
no
one of
idea
us
what
fucking.
kind of fate you're sending them to in doing so.
I'm out of character horrified for like when Remy and Nori find out that this
Like
is
we
happening.
we hear you being like for Orgle,
Yeah.
and then Remy and Nori just like what? Like.
Well, this is the thing, and in character, we'll see. We'll probably see this fucking episode what happens with it, because I have a good idea of where I want to kind of go with this to an extent in character. But also out of character, I'm keeping away from like the lore of certain things like Orgle and stuff purely because my character doesn't know it, and I'd rather be blind to it myself as well, because it just makes it more interesting for me. So I don't know half the fucking shit. I didn't know all that fucking stuff was gonna happen. Holy shit, dude!
Out of character, it's like super interesting, like the dynamics that are happening, because like Nori and Remy would be like very much against this, but also like Nori and Remy are not like opposing, but like
They're balancing.
They're balancing acts.
That was interesting to me. Well, you probably saw my fucking face when. So who? Remind me who Nori was talking to? Chandi. Shinov, and Remy is Chandi.
Chandi
Or
and
Darnua.
Darnua.
Yeah, and those are like opposing, but they're still good. They're just
Darnua and Shinov are neutral gods, as they're referred to. They're not necessarily good. They're not necessarily bad. They're just forces that exist. Chandi is like the goddess of life and like nature, and Shinov is the goddess of death and the end.
I'm gonna fucking pass out, dude. Yeah, that's a lot.
And
That's
also
cool.
like Shinov,
Okay.
Shinov is like law and stuff, and Darnua is more like the chaos side. Like,
which is ironic, huh?
it's like which side of the coin of life and death do you want? You want like.
And then Nori's just all over the fucking place running into things.
I'm chaotic evil now, bitches. I feel like as a character, I'm not evil right now, though. I feel like I'm like chaotic neutral,
which is
technically
as a thing in D&D, chaotic neutral is often lauded as like chaotic stupid. Like people don't typically play it very well, so I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't intend on playing like a stupid character or anything, but it's like right now I'm doing. I guess it's a selfish kind of thing. Like Xylia's doing it purely for himself, but he's trying to do it the best way that he can.
I was gonna say, but you're justifying it by being like, these are bad people that we're killing anyways. So what's like, why is it? No, it is. It's interesting. I'm liking it so far.
If only
it's definitely the most like chaotic neutral thing I've seen in a campaign that wasn't just outright stupid.
Yeah.
If only I'd have known Orgle with that fucking ship, dude. I'd have had all 20.
Oh my god, Orgle, these are for you!
I'd have said it through the bird and everything. You guys would have had no idea.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to remember what the god that I was sort of agreeing with is now. For some reason, it's not in this book. I think it might be in the other one.
Book?
The notes that she's...
Because
we did it when I was creating the character, so it was in the other one.
Was it Cargon?
So she would know a little bit about Cargon, but her clan would be a lot more in tune with Heronius, who's Cargon's polar opposite.
Oh shit.
He's lawful evil, so he respects power, war, like
damn, we got a good
bloodshed
mix
on the battlefield.
We really do.
This is gonna be so interesting. Holy shit.
And I think Remy too Remy's like Chandi and Darnua and a little bit of Cargon. So it's like
I was raised Cargonian.
A hint of Cargon.
But then moved on to Chandi and Darnua.
Yeah.
So it was what again?
Like war, battle honor too. Like a warrior of Heronius wouldn't resort to cheap tricks. It's all about their power over other people. So you respect like muscles and like actual combat fortitude. As well as a lot of like, this wouldn't be something that you would necessarily know, but Heronius is also often referenced by lawmakers and by judges as like the god of like upholding the law to the strictest letter.
Okay.
So a contract written under the patronage of Heronius, if you break that, that's a heinous sin. And you would incite the wrath of Heronius in whatever way, shape, and form that would take.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because like I guess it depends on like the DM or the games, but like just because like Keothi would follow or know about like a god who is lawful evil does not necessarily make her evil. It's just that's how like the god is aligned.
Well, it's just like me, right? I'm not chaotic
like she
evil.
would care more about like power and stuff like that, but not necessarily like.
Yeah, when me and Daya were talking about it, I remember saying that she personally stands more on the neutral side, but the god that she knows of aligns to the evil. I just couldn't remember for the life of me the name.
Not everybody who worships Heronius
is
obviously like super devout to like the bloodshed aspect of him, how evil he is. But so Keothi was raised in what is effectively a meritocracy, whereas a Cargonian enclave would be more socialist, because he's while he is law, he's also knowledge. So it's the freedom of knowledge amongst the people to kind of learn and just be better together as a community, whereas Heronius is like strength of one, and how can you benefit the community via your own strength specifically.
That's fine. I was just double checking that I because I couldn't remember that.
I mean, I've always seen like alignment be kind of almost like a loose guide as opposed to like a staunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of use it
like everybody's like tempted, right? Like everybody could like give into like temptation, or could give into like thinking something's like a little too intense, right? Like it's not
an alignment shift only happens when your own like personality has shifted that far out of line, where you've continuously done actions that are less in line with what your own alignment was. I don't personally play with an alignment of character. I think it's a bit more complicated than that. But
because your personality is more in depth, isn't it?
Yes, your personality is so much more complicated than you can get on an alignment chart.
Yeah, like I've always used it more as like a loose guide.
Yeah,
like a good place to set your base, like a base
it's a good starting line. Like the range of your decisions are probably around here, but you know, in certain case scenarios, it's not like you have to adhere.
Kind of like with IRL religion, it's sort of like the base of the rules of what you should and shouldn't do in life.
That, and like depending on like what happens in like your character's life, like their personality might be affected and change, you know.
I've had, I mean, Daya went from being lawful good to lawful evil over the course of her lifetime.
Jesus.
It was rough, but repeatedly again and again, it was just atrocity after atrocity she witnessed, and was like, it's not worth it to be a good guy when I'm trying to inflict the law on people. Like, if I have to resort to the most heinous means I can think of, I'm going to enact justice. So it's
justice.
Like, after a while, people will break if repeatedly exposed to certain circumstances,
or become nicer,
or become better.
My pirate bard, who didn't give a fuck at first, later in the campaign gave a lot of fucks, started being a better person.
The only exception to my view on alignment is when it comes to the gods. The gods are forces that they're not a personality, they're not human. So they are personifications of their alignment. They don't change, they don't fluctuate.
I have a question out of character. Because I forgot to check last time, and I was trying to check then, and I fucking can't figure out how to do it. You know the spell, or, well, whatever it is, friends? Is that a spell or a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip, okay.
Yeah. Charm person is like the better version of friends, and that's a level 1 spell.
Yeah, that's what I have. I was trying to remember. Okay.
Okay.
Is the link I posted in general the right spelling? Just so I know, because I'm going to read it later.
Oh, maybe it's not. Sorry, it's not Heronius. Heronius is from Greyhawk. It's not my campaign.
Let me just
or is it?
cross everything out.
Horatius.
Horatius, that's right.
I remembered it when you said
Do you
it.
want to re-link her to the actual like lore stuff that you typed out about it?
Yeah.
I
So
only,
this
I
whole
only just
setting-
remembered when you said
this-
it then.
yeah,
Heronius
this-
is actually the
in,
polar opposite of what Horatius is.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, if Becky, if you want to go into the rules channel, it's the very top post, the first link.
Thank you.
It has like everything in there.
I know how
Save to favorites forever.
I know how I'm gonna play this out, and I'm extremely excited for it now.
If
I
you
also
get
I don't
your
think I
way.
ever ended up actually posting the creation mythos of Aberranth, which is probably for the best. I remember I read some out to you guys at the beginning. Not you, Keothi, because you weren't there when we formed the campaign. And I had said I would post it, but I think I won't now, especially now that Brand's saying that he's like abstaining from reading the lore, just because the creation mythos is one large fucking spoiler, honestly.
Don't
Like,
spoil it.
I prefer to
It
keep
talks-
in the dark. I prefer to think like as I'm playing it out as my character would, so that mainly so that I can't fuck up and like metagame anything. But it also just makes it a lot more interesting for me as well while I play.
Maybe I might post it towards the end of the campaign as more things are revealed, and that way you guys can have something to look back at as a reference for what you've learned so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
I'm fine
for
with that.
now,
No spoilers.
No
yeah.
spoilerinos.
because it's
Just
in
smile.
detail about like the first stage to now about
Oh wow.
what happened. So probably for the best not to.
Okay. Holy shit.
Read up on this later, that's all.
Let's get this bread.
Let's
do
get
it.
this bread. Okay, so yeah, after a good night's sleep for some of you and for others less so, Nori and Xylia, you're feeling pretty worse for wear. Xylia, you're still a bit battered, but mostly healed after a good night's rest. You're a little bit sore, but that's really about it. The one noticeable thing for you is the white scar that you now have on your hand that seems to it looks like it's been healed for months, but it's just a little bit of raised flesh going down from each finger towards your palm.
Shit, that actually okay.
Blessed you twice over, Chairman. Good lord. Sneezy boy. Are you done? Poor baby.
Damn, okay. So that actually carries
so
over.
you have little white scars running from the tips of your
The
fingers. down to your palm.
contract.
Did I get my tattoo? No, I'm just kidding.
You did not
Nori
get a
wakes up
tattoo.
with a tramp stamp.
With
on
a
his skull and
Chanove
crossbones.
tramp stamp.
At this point, you all wake up. You are now considered level 5, so that you're aware. So Nori, you are now officially a warlock as well.
Ooh. I'm a sorcerer and a warlock. I put
You're
one
multi-classed.
level.
Weren't we
Yeah,
level
I've
5
multi-classed into
before?
warlock.
Technically,
So-
yes, but I had said that you wouldn't be level 5 until your next long rest.
And we
Ah, yeah,
just
yeah,
took
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any required rolls would require that you bring it down to your level 4 stats, but it wasn't very important anyways because there's no real combat.
Yeah, I remember now.
I am now a celestial warlock.
Holy shit.
Wild
I-
magic sorcerer celestial warlock hybrid.
I love the Celestial Warlock part of my Bard Celestial Warlock, so have fun with it.
That's gonna be
I
interesting.
get to hit 2 things at once with my axe. I'm just happy.
or
With
hit
my
or hit something
sword.
twice.
I get
Yeah.
to
Or hit something.
make people's souls be and let's go.
Yeah, I know. I get to be a bad guy.
Well, that has nothing to do with your level, but
True.
Okay,
That's to do
so
with you.
waking up in the morning,
Feeling like P. Diddy? Sorry.
Remy's gonna say his prayers, do all of his prep stuff, and I want to go back down and look at the job board
Well,
while I wait for my mushroom breakfast.
okay.
before this happens, like, do we all wake up together? We're all in separate rooms, right? Every single one of us is in
Yeah.
separate rooms.
Yeah, you each have your own room in this establishment. Not all of them are big enough to accommodate that, but in this instance, it's definitely big enough.
Okay, never mind then. That's fine. Yeah, carry on.
So you're gonna go look at the job board, Corb, and I'm probably pointing to the wrong spot. Just on Discord, this is the right spot to me. Nori, what are you doing? Sorry, I think you had started saying something.
Oh, I'm just gonna wake up and grab my head because it does not feel the best.
Oh,
I'm gonna be like, I will have a cheery disposition as I come down the stairs, and also order food and kind of just sit at one of the tables while Remy is overlooking at the job board.
Okay. Keothi,
Is Kimeth here yet?
Kimeth is already down there. It looks like he probably stayed up a little bit longer than the rest of you and continued drinking in the guild hall. And he may or may not have gone to bed.
Oh no, well I'm gonna go right up to him and start talking real loud and excited about about what happened last night to him. Maybe not super like loud to him, like loud in his direct vicinity basically, and be like, thank you so much. I don't know, I guess you took a break at some point, you talked to her, but it was cool, and I went over there again and it was crazy, and there was that big door, and then she was talking to me, and then I was like, hey, and then she was like, you know what you could do, and then I was like, you know what, and then we were like, oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to keep up, but I'm still just a little bit drunk here.
Oof.
And by a little bit, I mean very. Because I'm assuming we're not leaving town for a bit, and I'm just making the most of it.
At that point, Keothi walks in and says, do you need me to throw another pint of water over you there?
I'm good, actually. I think I'll take a bath a bit later.
Okay. I'm just gonna go stay with my blue boyfriend.
You what?
Remy's like, oh god.
What? You went back. Did you die last night?
Oh, I hope not. It was not fun the first time. I was here, I think she was saying that it wasn't like death, right? Like I didn't actually die this time. One thing, super awesome, I get 2 more times, which is really cool. So like 2 more times, right? In like the normal way, right? Because the first time it happened, it was like not super cool, and it was just like, oh no, and then I came back and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it was just crazy. But this time it was like a little more chill. I like got over there and she's like, oh hey, and I was like, oh hey, and we're just like, bah, 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 bah. And then like she said, I guess now I can do some cool stuff. It's probably like, I don't know, can I do the same stuff as you? Do I get to marry a whole bunch of people and like help them out when they're fighting, or like, how do I
Revy's just getting passed around. He's the blue boyfriend. He was married to Kimeth.
Do I get like a card or something that like that lets me know like what's going on? Like when you started talking to her and stuff, and then she's all like, "Ooh, here's some abilities and powers and stuff." Was she also like, "Here's the instruction manual, like go for it," or, how did with the? Do you feel warm? I feel warm.
Look, okay. And he takes your hand and like puts it on the table and places his own hand over, and he's like, okay, I think I understand a little bit, but you're not exactly the religious type, the preachy type. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see you giving sermons anytime soon.
I prefer dissertations.
Okay. I can sense a small amount of divine energy in you. Kind of similar to what I do, but definitely different. So, I kind of think I know what happened, but I'm not entirely sure. And from what you're telling me, I'm mostly confused. Because like I said, I'm not sober, and you're talking very fast. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see what you can do, and try to figure it out together, all right?
Okay.
Good. Now I'm gonna get 1 more pint deep and sleep this off, and we can talk when I get up.
Okay, so like while you're sleeping though, like what if I gotta like do stuff?
Try not to do too much.
Okay.
Because from what you've told me of your abilities, not knowing how to work them is a problem.
Cool. I'll try not to do too much.
I think I might actually skip the pint and go straight to bed, honestly.
Cool. I have so much stuff to talk about you when you wake up.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And we never see him again.
He took his final
the past
pass.
7 years. Yeah.
Good night.
Can I say while that was going on, I was down at a table, like, you were speaking loud enough to be heard, right? Like, about the whole
Probably. She
dream
wasn't keeping her-
situation stuff?
She wasn't keeping her voice down at all.
Okay, Zali's just gonna keep to herself, but taking note of Nori saying that she had a weird dream last night and all this stuff.
Okay. I would say both Remy and Keothi would hear it too. You guys are like, other people probably wouldn't have taken too much notice because it's loud in here, but because it's your party talking amongst themselves, like, it would, if they're talking and you overhear it, it stands out to you. So Remy, you said you're checking the quest board.
Yes. So I remember the first time we checked this board, there was a job about going down
Only to
under the cave.
I think you established that you needed to be on like floor 4-ish for what you were looking for.
Floor?
5 kilometers northeast,
northeast.
in the tunnels.
Yep, I have it too. Floor 4, 5 kilometers northeast.
Yeah. So the quest in question that you're talking about, it was floor 1. So it's fairly close to the surface.
It's a good entry point, though.
I have.
It gives you an in to the library if that's your intention. Otherwise, you're not necessarily required to be on a quest or to be on a job to go out into the mines. It's not like it's a
True.
sealed off area. A lot of people use some of a lot of the tunnels beneath the town to get to other cities within the mountain. So it's not like it's a big deal to head down there yourself. Sorry.
I had a quick utility question. As sorcerer, all the spells I know. It's not where I have to have them prepared or something like a wizard or a cleric, right?
Yeah. Sorcerer,
then-
warlock, same thing. You
Oh,
know
okay,
all your
so I can just whichever ones I want to use. I know I don't have to prepare anything.
Nice.
Okay, cool. I
Yes.
wanted to make sure that was the case.
And you can cast either class's spells using any of your spell slot capabilities.
Yeah,
So your warlock
they
slot can
all
use
convert
for-
over. Okay, and then the last question I had is for the spell versatility thing as a warlock. I can only replace.
Spell versatility.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
that's
spell
when you-
versatility.
yeah.
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace one spell you learned from this packed magic feature with another spell from the warlock spell list.
Pretty cool.
So
but that's only for your warlock spells. So you can't replace a sorcerer spell with another sorcerer spell or a sorcerer spell with a warlock spell.
I can only replace a warlock spell with a warlock spell.
Yes.
And it is any warlock spell.
Anything that you can currently learn, right? So in your case right now, you can only learn spells for which you have spell slots.
Yes.
For spells of a level for that you have spell slots.
So right
like,
now, I can know Cure Wounds and Guiding Bolt.
Well, there are other warlock spells. Those are just the
Okay,
ones that you
so
can learn
it
as
would
part
be
of
the
your pack.
Celestial, but then also, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
I have one quick question as
wait.
well.
Yeah.
Charm person, does that make people tell the truth, or is that a different thing?
Zone
No.
of Truth is telling the truth.
Zone of Truth forces them to tell the truth. Charm person gives you, so when somebody is charmed by you, it means you have advantage on any charisma checks against them.
I see.
So if you were to try and like persuade them to do something or intimidate them or
Mhm.
lie to them, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Or they would, but they're messed up.
Okay. Perfect.
You gave them the magic drug, and now they're a little bit more willing to believe whatever you shit out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good to know.
Good morning. I grabbed the job with the floor 1 and I sit at the table. It sounds like somebody had a really exciting night? Morning?
Sleeperoni.
Yeah, like both. It was cool. I had some cool stuff happen, right? Because I was telling you guys before, Kiwit was all like, "Oh, Shinov, like blah blah blah," like making those prayers, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I know Shinov, like that's so crazy." And then you know how we were on the boat, and I was like, bro, if you like talk to her, because I'd like to talk to her again, because I haven't talked to her in a while, and I didn't actually realize that like you could do it multiple times. Like I thought it was just kind of one of those weird things where like I just kind of happened in there, and then it was like, boop boop.
You talk to Shinov?
Yeah, you know.
Cool.
Don't you talk to Chandi and Darnua?
Yeah,
You're like doing that all the time. You're all like light, be happy. Yep.
I say my prayers every night, Nori.
Yep. So I guess
And
I like did.
You've never really heard anything back. just
I know, but to him, it's like talking to.
Well, and I'm sure also with how crazy Nori is in general, like whether you choose to believe that she actually fucking was talking to a god or not, right?
Oh,
in this case, her lies are catching up to her.
No, I actually think Remy like believes her, but he's thinking probably it's more like how he thinks he talks. Anyways,
Zalia definitely believes so.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, my hands are like, do my hands feel warm to you? And she just like puts her hands on his hands.
Do her hands
like,
feel warm?
Are they like, I feel warmer?
Not like
tingling?
not like super warm, like not feverish warm, but there's definitely a bit more like
a glow.
More than normal, I suppose. It's probably the best way to describe
I got a little
your paladin senses. There's something a bit more than Nori going on.
I got a little Shinov in me.
You do? Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing how you're gonna use this newfound power.
Yo, she was telling me something about being able to like heal better or something, or like maybe I can do like some healy stuff. I don't know, man. So
Healing's the best.
Yeah, we'll try it out at some point. I don't know. They didn't give me an instruction manual. She was just kind of like, here you go.
They don't do that. It's all about, like interpreting the word.
Did your skin burn a little bit when you went and talked to them for the first time and they were like, hey, here's some stuff? Did it like hurt?
I mean, like when I took my oath, there was like a feeling. There was like a pretty intense like feeling. Like this is my duty now, but like
at the mention of skin burning, it would sort of remind you a little bit of when you channel holy power, especially when you channel out a smite. Yeah. There's like a slight hot sensation of the radiant energy passing through you.
Yeah, it's like their powers definitely have like a hot. It's not like it's like a burning, but it's not like a ow, ooh, ah. It's like oh, that's nice. I maybe you know what I'm talking about now. It's not like a bad fire. So. It's like a good fire.
Like
it's
a warm fire. Like a warm fire. Like a warm fire on your skin. Yeah. Like this, and then I take his hands in between mine and I go.
Okay, ow, that's hot. But like
doesn't feel too good against your fishy hands.
But like, that's cool.
Yeah, she was like I had her on like speed dial. I didn't realize I was like, hey Kimmeth, maybe like talk to her, and then all of a sudden I'm like sleeping, and then she's all like, hey, and I was like, what?
They come to you when you need them.
I guess
if you really need them, but
what do your gods like hangout spots look like? Do they have like big giant doors and like stars and stuff in the sky, or like what? Like,
well, I've never like been to their realms, but Chandi's all about like life and light and warmth, and I imagine it is this beautiful vista of light, and Darnua's probably a very lush forest. I mean, I've never really thought about it because I haven't like visited them. But also, it's kind of like
kind of rude. Like they don't even like you're over here like doing all the not you. You're not rude. I'm talking about them. Like you're over here. You're all like, look at all this shit that I'm doing for you, and they don't even invite you over for like food or like.
Like Remy looks like super confused. Like why would that be rude? He's just like, no, it's like I don't need to go there because they're with me.
Yeah, but like, don't you want to see? Like, don't you want to like kind of like see like what they're doing, like where they're hanging out?
If they need me there, they will call me there. I'm pretty confident in that. I think when the time is right and they need to call on me, they will take me to where they need to go. Until then, I think that's not necessary, I guess.
That makes sense. I bet Shano's probably been over there. Next time I see her, I'll ask her and see like what the situation is.
If I ever do see Darnu or Chandi, I'll ask.
Yeah, be like, hey, where do you hang out? I'm just curious now, right? Because it's like, do they all have big giant doors? And where do those doors take you? What even is that? And then like, man.
I don't particularly want to go and meet Horatius, like. I think that might be a bit of an awkward scenario.
You probably have to like fight him or something.
I think it's only people who are in a lot of trouble that end up going over there.
Anyone else have any weird dreams last night?
I slept like a baby. After me and my blue boy over here went and got some good ale downers, I was out for the count, me.
Yeah, so speaking of, and I put the job down. So we got a lot of information out of this guy last night, and I know we need to go to floor 4 at somewhere like around the northeast area, but we could figure out
5?
something like that. He said that there's a specific door number that we could find if we go to the archives. And if we go to the archives, we need to have a reason to go to the archives. Like, they don't just let you in. So we could either take a job that would allow us into the archives, or we find some other way into the archives, or we just go down there. But like, listen, there's like some purple worm stuff, and there was like a robot, and like, it just doesn't.
And skeletons.
That too. So like, we could just go down there, but like, I don't know if they're gonna be like, yo, it's like dangerous, you can't. So I'm thinking we need to go to the archives, so we can either take this job and just get into the archives and deal with that, or if you guys found out anything.
What is the job for exactly? I know it's a way in, but what is it? What is the job? I don't think we checked.
I look at the job.
we never actually looked at it.
The job in question is clearing out. There's been disturbances coming from within what we used to be an old sewer system, which was carved out of old tunnels that were used for mining, which then collapsed, and they stopped using it as a sewer system and closed it off. But there have been reports that creatures or possibly people have been making their way into there, and strange sounds have been heard by the miners from within.
What rank is it? Is it ranked?
It's pretty low rank. It's like a rank F.
Sounds like
How
a
much
good
gold?
idea.
With talking to Roderick and stuff, what exactly did he offer us, and is it something that we could use in conjunction with what
Roderick
Remy
said
and
that
Keoki?
he's set up excursions before for as like a light term for people to go into these old sealed off areas illegally and do their own little treasure hunts of what they might be able to find within.
So logically, what it would be is we need to take this job to get the info about the door we need to get to, and then we could go to Roderick and go, hey, this is where we need to go, and he'd be like, let me set this up
So
for you.
it's not a door, it's like a sealed off area that's been marked as like this is
Okay.
like off limits.
So that would be the logical conclusion, right? Like that's the path that we would most likely need to take to get where we need to go, is take this job to get the library thing, and then get Roderick to set up the excursion for us.
It'd be
Now
a
that
way
we know
to
where
do
we
it.
need
I
to
mean,
go.
do we need the excursion if we're already got it? Like, once we're down there, we can go down there. It's
Do we need permission though for like to get down there, or I guess what was that being?
From
What was the benefit of Roderick?
Either way, it's not
Well-
permission though, is it? Because it's illegal if we go Roderick's way.
Yeah, but he might know like a way to get around it without us having to like advertise the fact that we're going
He would know
like,
the
to this
security
floor
measures
in this
as
area.
he's done it before. Also,
So we could do
what
it a
the
little more
stone-
secret.
What the Stone Mage would have told you last time too is when they seal it off, they use magic to do so, creating stone fortifications. So it's geomancy, effectively, yeah. So he, like, you saw when he basically like made the chairs larger for you to sit on, right? It's that sort of thing. So they shape stone walls, who knows how thick, to keep people out.
So Roderick would probably be able to get us through those stone walls, and we wouldn't have to be like, hey, we're gonna go delve into these ruins that we're not supposed to tell anyone about because people are worried about it, type of a thing, right? Like he basically lets us fly under the radar and get into where we need to get into.
But we could probably also find that information in the archives, right?
But not to get into that. We can find where we need to go, but unless we have somebody that has like the ability to shape rock to get us in, we could go there, but we can't get in.
Yeah,
So he would.
You're not
he
familiar
would,
with what the security measures are.
So he would allow us to basically get into it. Whereas if not, then we'd need, I don't know, like explosives.
It could be entirely unguarded for all you know. Like you could be allowed to wander in the caves as far as you want, or certain areas might have, people literally preventing this sort of thing from happening. Your conversations never covered that sort of.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the whole like illegal part, but I mean,
regardless of your actions, it would be illegal to.
We do have to get in either way.
And didn't Senezal kind of say that we should try and keep this? Like, that's the whole reason why we've been taking like other quests to like hide what we're doing. Like he's.
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
saying
I was thinking of like the job as a cover up, but then.
But I think the job is a means to get into the library to get that information. The job isn't necessarily going to get us to the level or the area that we need. We could do Roderick in combination with the job in the sense that we're going down on the job, but then we plan to meet up with Roderick so he lets us into the area we need to go into.
I mean, it
sounds very convoluted.
This
well,
the Roderick guy, like, you don't think he's gonna? Because I'm just worried that's just more people who know where we're going or what we're up to.
Well, we don't need the job to get in, do we? It's the job only gets us to the.
We need the job to get into the archives, unless we try and find another way into the archives. Because so what Edric told me was that they mark these doors, and there is a specific door that is on floor 4, about 5 kilometers northeast. That they it
sounds like our door.
He like describes the door, but he doesn't remember the marking on the door. And he said that we could find the marking on the door if we go to the archives, but you can't just walk into the archives. You have to have a reason. And he was like, you could get like a job.
Okay.
That would allow you into the archives. I'm not saying we have to take like the job. I'm just I don't know how much I trust somebody with Thieves Guild, but I also.
I mean, my experiences with the Thieves Guild has been
mine. Yeah,
they're really nice.
Let's go with the job.
We have to do both, though. The job is not. We have to do both, though.
Well, maybe I just stay quiet for a lot of it for the Thieves Guild. I don't think he's gonna want to help me.
It's just Roderick.
Yeah.
It's cool. You'll be with me. He likes me.
It's fine, Zillia. Just put your hood up and hide behind us. It'll be cool.
Yeah. It's cool.
Okay.
He likes me. We're like best friends now. We had like such a good talk last night. It was so good. Like we were laughing so hard. Like he was laughing really hard. I was laughing really hard. He got straight faced for a little bit because Kenneth was like, "Haha, you're cheating," and he was like, "Oh, bummer." And it was pretty funny. But at the end of the day, he was like, "Hey, I'll do this." It probably is gonna cost us money though.
Well, bye, Dea.
Bye, Dea.
We killed the DM again.
Now it's for free.
Because, like,
It'll
we
be break
know
time soon anyway, I think.
we know that there's a Edric told me about what I think is the guardian of this place.
Mhm.
He described it as a man made of metal and wood, and it shot acid. It like melted things, and it melted like his friend. So like,
Mm.
he
Interesting.
mentioned something about like it might be a good idea if you were to run into this thing that you might have some acid resistance, if that's a thing we should do. So I was thinking like, well, we go to floor 4 and then go northeast, and then like there's gonna be a acid shooting thing, and it's probably like around there. It's probably that door.
Mhm.
But
Particularly want to get like acid pool. So
there's an alchemist here. He mentioned that we might be able to get like an like acid resistance.
So like,
Unless-
I guess what we're saying. So if we don't want to go the way of Roderick, how are we gonna get into
There
the
isn't,
place we need to get into? I guess that's what I'm asking.
there isn't really a way. I think what
I'll
you're saying
punch
is
my way through.
the smartest way to do it.
So
Yeah, I
just
mean,
how heavy is
Could
this
al-
stone?
Could always dig.
It could be, yeah.
It's
it-
not
like
even a
for
fact that
all
it's
we
heavy. Like from
know-
what you saw yesterday, like they can shape the stone however they want, so they could just grow it out of the floor.
Mhm.
You couldn't.
Yeah,
You might
so
not be able
it could
to lift
be
it,
it could
would
be like a mile. It could be like a mile thick stone thing in front of it, or it could be like
Yeah, I mean-
like feet deep of like pure rock solid stone. And while I can explode a shark, I'm not so confident on my rock exploding capabilities.
What?
And I feel like that would be really loud.
I
you
also
know?
think that might cause a cave in.
Yeah, we've tried
and
that
it
in a cave
sounds like
before.
What? It sounds like Roderick. It also sounds like Roderick kind of knows the system a little bit down there, so like he could also maybe help us from like, you know what? Maybe he knows about this acid shooting guardian, and maybe he's like, oh yeah, it's super easy. You throw a rock over there, and when it's looking over there, you like sneak behind it, or you know, maybe he knows something.
I mean, I trust you guys. I think we should then go talk to Roderick and see. I mean, if he gives us all we need to know, maybe we don't even need this job. I
mean,
just
the
I would have
job could
preferred to.
I
Just be
don't
some
think he's
extra
gonna
income
know.
still.
I don't think he's gonna know like, oh, this is the place you need to go. I think he's more of a,
Yeah.
hey, this is the place we need to go. Like, get us into it. And then he goes, cool, I can totally do that. I don't think we can go and be like, hey, acid spitting metal wood man, and he'd go, oh, I know just the door for you, and then like take us to it. You know, I don't know if that's
There
how that
was
works.
also another door that he mentioned. 20-foot stone door, had some writing on it. Some people broke in. Now they're skeletons, or skeletons started coming out. But I don't think that's the door we're looking for. I think that was just Edric talking about a door that he sealed up.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I think taking the job would be a good idea, if not for a fail-safe to get in.
How
Just for
much
some
money
extra
is
income.
it too?
We're gonna have
How
to,
much money is it?
if we're gonna have to clear it out anyway.
The job to clear out the sewer is 200 gold.
It
Final
happened.
Fantasy. Where
I mean,
did you?
it's low rank. It pays a little decent amount. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can take it, and then we go to the archives, try and find the door number. For the floor 4 thing, we'll probably need to go in, get information about floor 1 anyway. And
Yeah, and
we
then
talk
at the
to
end
Roderick.
we can just like and like clean up the sewers and then get like some extra money. And then it's letting us keep
It's
that
our
low
alibi. What were you
profile.
doing in the sewers?
Exactly.
We were on floor 1. We were dealing with.
We were doing sewer things.
And if Roderick double crosses us, I'm feeding him to the acid man.
No, I think
Yeah,
Roderick
good
seems
idea.
pretty chill. Roderick and I played so many games last night, and he gave me back all my money. So like, I just
Yeah,
feel like he's a
But
good
you
guy.
just admitted he cheated, so I'm not sure I trust him yet.
Well, yeah,
we'll
but
see.
that's like, I mean, that Thieves Guild, like, and it's not like it was a
What
big
Nori
deal, right? Like we were
neglected to
just
say
playing.
She tried to cheat too.
we were just playing cards, you know, and like, what's a little bit of cheating amongst friends? So,
Also-
you know, we were just having a good time.
I did also try to cheat in there, hence the
Oh, that's a
bruises that I
good. You know
have.
what? And my like hand kind of like slaps onto Xylia's like shoulder. I'm like, don't. Thieves Guild, no magic.
Okay.
Thieves Guild, no magic. Thieves Guild, no
Well,
magic.
Yeah, I just
No
assumed
magic.
when you made the
Thieves
little
Guild.
person dance on the bar and clean up, that magic was fun in there. I don't know, they didn't
No,
seem to have a
did
problem.
you not see that guy's response
No, I was...
when I did that? Oh, okay. Well,
was
he
busy
did not seem
thinking.
too excited about it. Yeah, he didn't seem too excited about it. So it's really weird. Would I know what the Thieves Guild like that Tally's a part of? Are they the same way? Are they like, oh, magic, brr, 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 or
So it's not even just the Thieves Guild. There's a lot of people who don't trust mages, because
Gasp.
they do. They're capable
Right.
of. It's typical, you know, when somebody has so much more power than you do to be scared of them. So in a lot of cases, a lot of people are just simply scared of mages because they're capable of so much
What?
weird shit and stuff that they can't necessarily explain or predict in a lot of cases.
No.
But they're not worrisome of like clerical, like paladins and clerics and their
Clerics are a
abilities.
little
It's, like,
bit different. Paladins sometimes, it depends obviously what kind of tenets you have.
Mhm.
But clerics are seen more, especially when it comes to healing magic. If they're directly benefiting the community with their abilities, then it's a little bit less.
What do you
fearful.
mean? My abilities have only ever directly benefited community.
So like stone mages, for instance, because they only work with and manipulate stone, they're not typically viewed as these scary people. They're just academics.
I feel like as well,
Um,
since it was mainly dwarves, and you did state a few times beforehand that dwarves are quite no different
Racist.
races allowed. Like
Xenophobic.
it didn't fucking help.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Racist
it's just the
probably isn't
icing on the
right word,
cake.
but xenophobic is definitely like you were already untrustworthy, and then you came in and blinded somebody so that you could win a fighting match. Like,
Imagine imagine been done for being untrustworthy in a thieves guild.
True.
it's not about the like.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
not even about the thieves. It's
it
just
was
about
the- it was the
dwarves, I
irony.
guess.
Yeah.
It is ironic.
The thing is, the Thieves Guild is a community. They would not betray one another,
Yeah.
right? Like they're kind of unionized almost to work against anybody who would attempt to hurt any of their inner circle.
Also, do you mind if we
So
take a
it's-
break soon? I really gotta pee.
We're
Sorry, that's where I have to go. I was like, I literally cannot hold it any
I'm
longer. I
trying.
have to go now.
So yeah, we've been going for about an hour and a half. So let's take a break here, and we'll finish out the next hour and a half
Woohoo!
in 10 minutes. 10-minute break.
Yay!
Sounds good to
See
me.
ya shortly.
Be back in a bit.
All right, see you soon.
What the fuck is going on?
keeps having to like dive back
Hello.
in. Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
hiya.
Hi.
All right. Everybody good? We're good to continue.
Yes.
Cool. So let us.
Sorry, I was in my
hop
own world
back
for a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, what did you decide? I don't. You guys decide to pick up the
So I
job.
think we have to decide, we're gonna pick up the job, right?
Mhm.
And then we're gonna go to the archives first to get the number before we go talk to.
Yeah, because if
Roderick?
Roderick's gonna set up the job, he'll need to know where he's setting it up at.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna take the job.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go to. Her name was Sasha.
Yep.
And I will say hello in my best broken Dwarvish and then proceed in common because I don't know any more Dwarvish. Miss Sasha, we'd like to take this job here.
Okay. Let me take a look. Takes it. Looks it over. All right. And you're Senezal's Archivists, yeah?
Yep.
Good. Then I shall put it in for you, and you'll be good to go.
All right, thank you so much.
Excellent. Good luck.
Yep. By the way, do you have the directions to the Alchemists Guild?
Yes, they're just down south a little bit from here. You really can't miss it. It's in the market square. It's one of the bigger buildings, and it's clearly indicated on a sign.
And they sell like their potions and things like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All sorts of types.
All right, thank you,
Are you looking
Sasha.
for anything specific? We might have it in stock here specifically. Healing potions.
Acid resistance.
No, you'll have to talk to them about that.
Yeah, that's what a fellow at the bar had told me.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you for your help.
Yes, anytime.
We're off to work.
And she kind of goes back to her work with a nod.
I go back to the table. We got the job.
Yeah.
Easy.
So that should get us into the archives. And I also got the directions to the Alchemist Guild. It's a little south of here. If we wanted to get that stuff now or after we talk to Roderick and maybe get more information.
Either way works for me.
I'd say let's go there, try and find it out, and then go talk to Roderick about setting stuff up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's go to the Cargon Library.
Okay.
I imagine because we got the job, like we still have our little job paper that we can be like, we got this job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're given the quest
Contract?
sheet quest contract. Yeah, you're given the contract.
Acceptance slip.
Yo, given the
An
quest.
acceptance slip.
Yeah. So you
And
make
we
your way
passed
over
it on the
to-
way in, so.
It's hard to miss. it's a very large kind of over the top building with a big symbol of Cargone like on the front of it where like the cross would be on a church. Hard to freaking miss. And within you've probably been in a Temple of Cargone before. In fact, I think you went.
I stopped at one in Telona.
Yeah, exactly. So it's still very much the same general idea where everything is more functional than grandiose within it, at the very least. The walls are lined back to back with bookshelves from the entrance all the way down to the end of the building, and it's definitely multi-floored because the ceiling stops long before where it should from the size of the building. And you can see circular staircases kind of going up to the other levels above. Though at the front there is a couple of desks where you can see some dwarves working. And they're dressed in these sort of functional robes, just kind of beige, not much to them apart from a little golden embroidered northern star over a shield, which is the symbol of Cargone, just on their chest. And a few of them look up as you walk in, and most of them go back to their work apart from one who stands and says, "Hello and welcome to the Temple of Cargone. Is there something I may help you with?"
Oh. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Hi, yeah. And I hand over the sheet. We just took a job with the Adventurers Guild and was told we could come to the archives for some information.
Yes, and he hands it back to you. Contract seems in order. You wish to read the archives of the sealed entrances down below, I presume. Based on what I've read from your contract, the sewer level?
Mhm.
Excellent. That would be the top floor. Please keep in mind you are not allowed to take anything out of this section of the library, as it is restricted information. Also,
Okay.
please try to keep it discreet, anything that you learn in here. Again, we're not in the habit of allowing people without good need of this information to learn of it.
We understand.
Excellent.
Thank you for your help.
Oh, I live to serve.
And
He leads you up several staircases to what you can presume would be the topmost level. And this level, being as high as it is, and the fact that the building gradually reaches like a peak, is much smaller, and even the walls of this level aren't lined with bookshelves because they go directly slanted towards a tip. There's small little skylights that let in a little bit of luminescence from the moss that lights up this giant cavern that the city is within. So it's not quite sunlight; it's more like a greenish glow that fills the area. And you can see that the level itself, like anybody could have walked up the stairs. However, there are metal bars, almost like a prison bars, separating the rest of the level from the staircases leading up to it. And he takes out a set of keys, unlocks it, opens the door. Please come back to me when you are done, and I will let you out after a brief inspection of your affairs so that I can make sure that you're not taking anything with you.
perfect. Thanks.
Silia, you better put that Oracle sigil away.
And as you all enter, he closes the door behind
Says
you
the
and locks
metagaming
it.
pigeon.
All right. Let's see what we can find. Is everything in Dwarvish?
Everything is in Dwarvish.
Oh no.
That's
hey,
fine.
how's it going?
I look to Quixote.
Wow, not even me.
I'll get
Offended.
looking.
Oh right,
Offended.
you speak Dwarvish too,
I'm
right?
offended.
I can
Yes,
also
I
use
do.
comprehend languages if we need to.
Oh well, then shoot, I am just.
Thanks for talking to the person up front and getting us in. We appreciate it.
I've done my job, and I will just kick back. No.
So these sections are made in such a way that the frontmost bookshelf is clearly floor one. And as it progresses, you can see it's deeper and deeper floors. The frontmost bookshelves appear to be just packed. Like there's almost no room left on them. And you can see that there are kind of to the side, like smaller bookshelves that don't quite fit, that have been kind of like nudged up against the wall as far as they can be to just make more room for more books and scrolls and logs. And as you progress, more of these bookshelves become a little bit less dense, but that's around like floor 7-ish. Floor 4 is still densely packed with stuff for the most part. And some of it is like towards the center of it, you can see that there are scrolls that are maps, just based on, a cursory inspection of them. They are maps of either earlier parts of the tunnels when they're first being created, and more. Like it seems that it's dedicated closer to the beginning, that these are progressive maps of the area as it's been developed. And within the maps are effectively numbers scrolled over certain areas referring to log entries, which you could then reference further into the bookshelves themselves. They are a little bit
Maybe-
sporadic and don't always seem to go in proper order, though, as things have been revisited or sealed later in time.
Does it look like there's somebody that's like keeping an eye on us?
No, not by the looks of it.
I mean, we're locked in here, so
Yeah, I'm gonna talk really kind of in a quiet voice.
we're at a
Just- yeah, I just been thinking because, right, so we're supposed to be doing like a job on the first level, right, the sewers, but we need to get to like 4th level, and I think if all of us like go back to the 4th level area, it might be a little
and why? I mean,
suspicious.
I can just sit around and look at books in section 1 if you want.
I'm just trying to think what the best thing is. I mean, I don't know how mad they'd get if we go further, you know? I'm not sure.
I mean, I think
I
as
don't know
long
if
as
I
we
can
don't
even
take
look at-
anything back.
It just doesn't matter. They're just like, we're really secretive about our information, but like, here's the entire room of all of our information, but only look at level 1 stuff.
I mean, like, people in town kind of seem to know stuff about it
Yeah.
anyway. They just
Maybe
can't
I'm just
talk about it.
overthinking.
I mean, I think it's a good idea to be careful. Like I said, I don't mind hanging around and like, oh, you know, if God forbid somebody comes in and asks, it can be like, well, my friends just really like books and they're just reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Unless
here's
we
what
have a signal
here's
to
what we need
warn
to know.
someone
So like,
coming in.
go into the map. Can we point out floor, like the floor 4, and then 5 kilometers northeast and see what numbers there are?
So to see the 4th floor, you would have to go to the 4th floor bookcases. Each bookcase has maps pertaining specifically to its floor. And at times it's a little bit less so we're looking for like less distinctive, because sometimes obviously people start digging down. So it's like the 2nd floor, but it's technically part of the 1st because they dug down and got into the 2nd floor from there, or what they ended up calling the 2nd floor.
We know the door. We should start on floor 4 because that's where the door is.
Mhm. I agree.
Well, do you guys want me to stay here and you guys go do floor 4 stuff?
Sure.
Because I can give you a list of things that like we need to look at. So, floor 4.
And then did Xylia want to do comprehend languages? And then we could go and
Well,
look.
can you guys read it anyway?
I can't.
I
read it,
can't.
And Keothi can. Me and Keothi both can.
I'm the only one I think who can't in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, then again, I guess if all 3 of us do, we can look for more. Yeah, I'll cast comprehend languages when we're heading down there because it lasts for an hour.
Okay.
So then look at look for whatever numbers are in that floor 4 area, and then look.
Acid spitting guardian.
Yeah. That
Fun.
let's see. Something about I wrote something about an armored warhorse mixed with a bull that digs
Yeah,
underground.
I have that. It's
The-
called
the
a bullet.
A bullet.
Bullet.
Mhm.
Maybe if we can find anything on there. We might run into purple worm eggs. Maybe we look at that. That might be anywhere.
I don't really want to get attacked by a 30 to 40-foot worm, to be honest.
Really, what we're looking, the most important thing we're looking for is if we can find the number of the door, and then anything in regards to that door in that section. And if I'm gonna look around floor 1, I can just read. I can't read anything, so I'm just gonna go. Just open books and look at them. Find picture books.
Find picture books. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Let's hit the books.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking to see if there was anything I could do to help Remy, but there's nothing.
I'm going to basically, like, during all of this, I want to just be doing stuff that's going to lend Xylia, like, advantage on his checks. Yeah. I'm going to be, like, the librarian's assistant.
Have
I
good
think also comprehend
investigation.
languages, if I'm not mistaken, can be cast as a ritual, can't it?
It can, but doesn't it take like an hour?
Takes 10 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah, I'll do it as that then, so I don't waste a spell slot.
Cool.
Sweet. So yeah, I'll take 10 minutes to prepare it and cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
And while we're taking them 10 minutes, we can look for floor 1.
Yeah, there you go.
While I am just preparing.
So readily, easily, you can find what you're looking for floor 1. As it was one of the earliest developments was the sewer system around the town. It was kind of important given they didn't want to pollute their one and only water supply. And best you can tell, the sewer system was developed as part of basically the initial mining operation. When they first started digging out the area, while it was definitely for minerals, which around here there are pockets of mithril, it wasn't quite deep enough to reach any significant veins. The initial system was more for transportation and for not irrigation, but sewage. However, a lot of those earlier tunnels, because they were made so long ago now, they're about 1,000 years old at this point, have long since collapsed. They were not properly reinforced, as knowledge of how to properly create these tunnels was something that they've sort of developed over time, especially with the aid of stone magic. So a lot of the earlier sewer tunnels are now unused, not necessarily sealed up, but sealed up of their own accord as they've collapsed and become just too dangerous to go into. So the one in question that your job references appears to be an old sewage system near the actual mining guild itself. And best you can tell, it should be, from how it's been collapsed, a closed system. There shouldn't be any way to get into it at all. It's collapsed on all sides. From what you do know, the reason for the collapse was flooding, which is most likely why it was why this job was neglected, because nobody wants to deal with a flooded sewer in search of little creatures who, as far as everybody knows, haven't been doing anything.
Yeah.
They're just in there. But yeah, you can expect not nice things in a flooded sewer. From what's described in this in what you're reading. The sewage was never properly drained when it collapsed.
Oh no.
Poop.
Poop monsters.
Poop and pee.
Poop and pee monsters.
Oh, it's not acid it's throwing on everyone, it's pee.
Ugh.
It's a pee monster.
Yeah.
That'd be worse
No,
than
thank you.
acid. Fuck that.
No, thank you. But yeah, that's most of what you can glean from what you're reading about that, anyways. And so after a while, Bran or Xylia, you would finish casting Comprehend Languages.
Mm-hmm.
So you could move back to the 4th floor bookcase and start looking there yourself, whereas both Nori and Keothi could have started without you if they had wanted.
Yeah, before I go down, I'll just check on Remy, see what he's doing, and just see if he needs a hand with anything first.
Unless Remy gains the ability to read Dwarvish, he's sort of sitting there looking like he's reading, I'm assuming.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
at
if he
this
wants
point,
me to read anything.
I find if there's absolutely nothing in common, I look for the prettiest book cover I can find, and I
Okay.
just start kind of flipping through it, seeing if there's any pictures, looking for like, I'm just vibing.
I'll go over and
Just
say, you
vibing.
look
But,
like you're doing okay.
Kind of looking like I'm reading or like flipping through books and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'll as I'm walking past, and I'll say, "Hey Remy, it looks like you're reading a dwarvish iteration of that BXP that I found a while back. I hope you enjoy it." And I'll walk down to the 4th floor.
Okay.
You don't
Have
remember
fun.
BXP? You don't remember that?
I remember the BXP.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you can go and help them look at what they're looking for. As you're kind of going through things and trying to figure out sorry, one second. Yeah, you're trying to figure out what door in particular you're actually looking for. There's numerous doors that are 500 meters northeast in the 4th floor. Like it's a fairly large map. And going through, door by door, you're seeing that not what you're looking for the most part. In a lot of cases, what's been sealed up was literally just an instability in the cave. And so therefore it was sealed up because they didn't want to progress any further in that direction and risk a cave-in. But in other cases, they have occasionally come across creatures of the deep. In one case, it seemed to open up what appears to be a portal to the Underdark, which some of you, actually most of you probably don't know exactly what that is, but from the brief description, it sounds like it's a place of bad things, as they describe creatures called Dweger, coming up and attempting to kidnap some of the mining dwarves and bring them back down with them.
Holy shit.
As well as abominations that they're calling mind flayers within the texts. Occasionally within some of these areas that they've dug out and then sealed back up.
Mind flayers.
When they mention mind flayers, you can there's not really a denotation for how thick exactly they seal things back up, but at times they say we sealed that back up real well.
We did that
meaning
real good.
probably like a couple 100 meters sealed up away, because fuck that noise. In the case of some of them, however, there does appear to be occasional mention of doors leading to areas of possible fallen ruins that they seal back up for safety's sake. They're not interested in what's going on in there. They just say fuck it and close it. But in one case, you eventually come across, it's a fairly longer passage. Chairman, I'll let you out in a second. It's a fairly longer passage that, from the sound of it, they encountered a protector for a specific fallen ruin, who nearly decimated their entire force that was trying to seal it back up afterwards. And eventually they gave up on actually sealing it back up closer to the event, and instead backtracked a couple 100 feet back down the tunnel and sealed it back up there. They just whatever was guarding that area, supposedly some form of humanoid, was too dangerous to deal with, and so they let it be.
I think that's our tunnel.
I think it might be. Is there markings on
Sounds
it?
about right.
Markings?
Yeah. On the it's sealed, right?
It's sealed, yes.
Yeah, is there any markings on it? I thought our tunnel thing had
like
markings on it.
sanitation. Yeah,
Like the
sorry,
number.
The number was 426.
426.
420 blaze it.
No.
That's what we were looking for, right? The number.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How much distance is between me and Remy at the minute in feet?
About 10 feet.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not like it's a cramped space. There's not a whole lot of space to move around in here.
I thought Remy wasn't with us
I'm like,
down there.
that letter looks like a cloud.
Remy's in.
Oh.
You guys are in this upper part of the library, and while it continues down far, it hasn't progressed very far
I
yet.
see.
Most of the bookshelves are still empty.
Okay. Well, just to keep it so that nobody else hears, because I don't think anybody else knows like why we're here, or like they'd be concerned if we just said random numbers out. I'll cast message and just let Remy know the number on the door.
Okay.
Say the number's 426. You can respond to this message.
I just say, cool.
As he's looking at his cloud numbers. Cool clouds.
Along the same vein as you're doing the research, you would also read a little bit about the sealed doors that Remy was talking about. The ones where supposedly skeletons came out, and in a bit more detail, it explains that whatever was in there, according to the mages who went down there to eventually seal it up, whatever was coming out of it radiated some serious necrotic energy, to the point where people who got a little bit too close seemed to start spontaneously aging. And in some cases, a few of them, their corpses had to be left behind. And these are dwarves. So
We avoid that door number, wherever that is.
Oh, shit.
by the looks of it, and not all of these are like very personal. A lot of them seem to be kind of like detached accountings and like sort of just factual information. But this one here, the person writing it seems to impart a bit more of their like personality to the accountings. And he says, it doesn't look anything like Fallen Ruins. I've dealt with a lot of these in my time, and this seems more... Oh, I just lost camera?
Twice.
All right.
Come back.
Baby, come back. Oh, never
You can
mind.
blame it all yeah, he left completely. He's
Yeah.
like, oh.
I'm loving this, by the way. I can't wait to upgrade my PC.
Yeah, you'll
This
be
is
fine. You got this.
getting ridiculous.
What is it, a RAM issue?
No, it's not. It's not the RAM itself. I'm pretty sure it's the CPU. Yeah,
Okay.
because my CPU clock is at 98%, basically the entire time
Jesus.
we're doing this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's good. And also my RAM though. My RAM is also at 81%, so it's a lot of things.
The computer got too close to that door.
I guess.
It's aging.
But yeah, he says if anything, this seems to be more divine in nature, as twisted as that sounds.
Wow. Okay.
But that's the end of that accounting. And I'll say that it was Keothi and her readings who stumbled across that one, as you're all kind of doing this research simultaneously.
Should I tell them about it, do you think?
It's up to you. It just rang a bell when you remembered what you heard last night.
Guys, come and look at this one. I think it might be quite interesting.
I'll stumble on over.
Woohoo! I like interesting things.
I mean, look at this one.
What is this?
I'm gonna have got this all mixed up now because I've wrote like 3 things at once. Oh my god, where is it? It says that there's some sort of divine energy. Did you say? Like a divine being?
Not divine energy as much as its origin appears to be divine, or some kind of religious or possibly godly creation.
It's on about something to do with like some sort of god, I think. Would that be something that you guys need to find? Well, us guys need to find.
Potentially.
It says that it doesn't look like normal ruins.
So
Here, take a
maybe-
look. And I hold out the script.
Okay, I'll place my hand on it to read it with comprehend languages.
I'm just over his shoulder, like just real close, just reading right over his shoulder. My face is right next to yours.
In that case, I will make sure my hand is hidden away since you're that close.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. You're like,
Yep,
Nori's just doing what Nori does, which is invading everyone's personal space.
It is definitely in my pocket.
What you doing with your hand in your pocket in a library there?
Listen. Okay, so it does mention that it's ruins and it's not like others. That is pretty interesting. What do you think, Nori? Do you think we should maybe check this one out?
Which store is, or which one is it? What's it marked at comparatively to the other one that we already found about?
It's not that much further down. It's 464.
Okay, and that's the one where the skeletons are also coming out, or no? This is a
Yeah, and
different
people
one?
were spontaneously aging if they got too close.
Yeah.
Sounds very dangerous.
So something sounded, then they were saying something about some kind of like other world. What was it? Sorry, what was the phrase that was used, or what was it talking about?
Unlike a lot of the other constructions they find that already exist beneath the surface, most of them seem that they're either constructed by drow, duergar, not so much mind flayers, or they're fallen. In this case, it's none. It seems to be none of those things, and it seems to be something of divine origin, something that was created by something more powerful than the average mortal.
Okay, and then the description Remy got for the other place that we were originally looking at. What was that description again, or what were the key things that made us think that that one was the one that we were looking for versus
The
what
fact
this one
that
would be?
the
man made of metal and wood, as if it was real.
Some kind of
Okay.
guardian who seemed more living than other constructs, as well as the fact that the area it was guarding itself was clearly a fallen ruin of some kind.
Okay. I mean, this other one sounds kind of interesting too, right? But I don't know why.
Definitely sounds interesting. Maybe not quite what we're after at the minute, but it could be something to check out at another time, maybe.
Just the whole thing with like the aging stuff around, I guess, skeleton people. Have I heard of anything? I don't know. A fable, a tale, is there anything that I've heard that like sounds anything remotely similar to that, or
Not really,
anything I've
no.
run into like adventuring wise?
I'm
Before?
assuming as well for things like that, for like the aging thing, this is kind of out of character. Would that be like saving throw kind of stuff? Like you'd have to succeed on saving throws for it?
You're not sure. I mean, it could be something you could resist, or it could just be a effect that hits you no matter how strong you are.
So we wouldn't be sure if things like protection from good and evil would even do anything. It's a yes or no kind of thing. Like we just don't know.
It's divine in nature, so it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Just
try
no
and
way to
find as
find
much. Maybe we try and remember as much information on this as possible, and we talk to Kimeth about it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think that's a
does-
good idea.
He does divine stuff. Like I'm like this level of divine stuff right now, but he's like this level of divine stuff.
Yeah, he's like super
Comparatively,
divine.
so. Yeah, he's like full body divine. I'm like rubbing my hands together, divine. So
I will say, Nori, that the idea of a divine door sounds vaguely familiar given your dream last night.
Ooh.
I just remember Edric saying about the fact it has a 20-foot stone door to shut off this place.
Yep.
Like, it's a big door.
It's a huge door.
It's
Well, so
massive.
maybe we do. I mean, maybe we check out both to see. I don't know. I don't know if the one that you just found, Quixote, is related. I don't know. Maybe it's like two different. Because remember, right? So we were at that other place, right? And they were like, oh, like bad, evil, hellish, abyssal things. And then it was also like, ooh, like radiant, awesome, celestial things. And then they're like, put them together. And then they're like, and then I'm here now. Because apparently I'm like a super soldier. Do you guys remember that? You guys remember when we went to that other ruin and they were talking about all that crazy stuff?
I remember
think
that.
that we
Quixote
should-
wouldn't.
So maybe this. Oh, that's right. So
Yeah.
Quixote, we went into this
Oh,
other
God,
ruin,
here we go.
and so I'm a super soul. Okay, and then let's just go ahead and do about a 45-minute recap dissertation from Nori about.
I'm not sure if Fletch actually knows or out of character
Probably
what
not.
happened in there.
I don't think you got to that part.
I purposely stopped watching. I watched the first 3.5, and that's when you guys invited me to join. So I stopped then,
Yeah.
so that I wouldn't.
So we
ruin
went
anything.
into these ruins, basically, these like underground ruins where we found like advanced technology, and we found that the ruin was like a bioengineering facility of a like civilization past, and they were pulling creatures from, was it the abyssal?
Abyssal
They
realm.
were taking creatures from the abyss, keep creatures from the hells, and
People from
and celestials.
and
Celestials as well.
celestials, and they were modifying, like genetically engineering super soldiers, and what they got from it were tieflings, which is what Nori is, and then the ASMR, right?
Yeah.
As well. So tieflings and ASMRs are actually like genetically modified beings from this era past, and we're like, that's crazy. Still very confused about it, but
And the entire premise you later found out from Senezal, who continued to decipher some of the stuff that you brought back, was that these people called the Girduin were at war with another race who were allied with the dragons of old.
I can't wait for Quixote to meet Frank.
And in order to combat them, they created these super soldiers, as well as what you guys are now going to find, which is the dragon soul
mechs.
weapons,
Yes.
which are effectively giant weapons powered by the life force of a dragon that was stolen.
Evil.
so I
That's
explained
super
all that to
fucking cool.
Quixote. I explained all that to Quixote, and then I'm like, so maybe it's like this one's like abyssal laboratory and this one's celestial laboratory. I don't know. Either way, giant holy doors sound pretty great. I had a dream last night. There's a pretty big door there too, so maybe there's a connection.
Well, how about?
I think we should ask Kimeth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about we just note down what we know somewhere about this 464 door, and then maybe we can sort of sweet talk your new mate Roderick into telling us more. And if that
That's
doesn't-
true. We
if he
could
does
ask him
know
too.
anything,
Maybe he knows.
he might know something. I'm pretty sure
That's
that those
true.
thieves talk in that guild.
While
We
that
could maybe
was,
do that. We could be like, hey, what about this store and this store? And then he'll be like, cool.
While that was all going on, I'll look for some more stuff just because I don't want comprehend languages to wear off. So I'll say at the same time.
Xylia
I'm
just
gonna
like walks
walk off.
away as Nori's like, let me tell you this story.
As soon as I heard it, so for 45 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just go look for some other stuff and see if I can find anything else of interest.
Kirthi tries her best to retain all this information, but she's not the smartest egg.
It is
So
probably the worst thing. It is just someone
It's
talking
also a
fast
lot
at
to take
you.
in.
It is.
Yeah.
It's also
It's a lot
like
to take in for a Goliath, and she's not the smartest person.
And
so-
also,
also
Nori
fairly
doesn't typically
unbelievable, like-
speak linearly either, so it is very much a lot of backtracking, like
Yeah.
hopping forward and then coming back again, and then
we're
like,
talking about
oh,
a
I
society
forgot.
that's currently in like the medieval times, effectively, like
Yeah.
just starting to get into Renaissance, and she's talking about genetic modification. That's like way the
And-
fuck over here.
And dragon weapon. Just think like diamond weapon and fucking.
In fairness, like, Kirthi will have had to ask her what the hell genetic
Yeah.
modification is, because that
Yeah.
just to her is like, what?
Well, and
She has
Nori
to
doesn't
explain
really
the
understand it
whole-
either. Nori's just like, they just take things and go, gah, 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 and then a baby comes, and then it's a different
I
one.
understand that fine, so it's cool. So yeah, I think we should definitely note that number down and see if we can get any information on the sly out of Roderick, and I think Kimeth will probably have something to say about it. He seems to know a lot. He seems to really like you as well, so...
I mean, we're like buddies, right? Like, we are cut from the same cloth.
So Xylia, you said you're gonna go find other writings
Yes.
or try to find other things.
Writings,
Any
clues,
specific floor,
traps,
any
anything.
specific like area? Like, are you just looking still in the same area that you were looking for before, or are you like spreading out your search to just random shit at this point?
Not really random shit. Still close to the area that we need to find the information from, but if there's nothing like too important, I wouldn't mind spreading out a little bit.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and make me an investigation check then
Okay.
to try and
Come
find
on,
things
baby.
like more related, I guess.
I don't get advantage on this, do I? Even though Nori was
No.
trying to, because she's
Nori's
busy.
now describing everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, she's like expositioning to Keothi.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Not that you need it.
Yeah.
You read,
Poggers.
you get the inspiration that maybe it's not always going to be on the fourth floor that you're looking for things. You don't know how big this area will be, so you try to check the fifth floor in the same general area, and find that floor 5, sealed area 152 was sealed up not because of any structural instability, but because as they continued to dig, there was a heavy thrumming sound, which you remember a little bit from the Geardu and genetics facility, a thrumming sound, which seemed to permeate throughout the entire structure, coming from below it. And as they continued to dig, this thrumming became intense enough that they decided that whatever was further in there should not be uncovered, and decided to close it up and continue along, circumventing it.
That sounds like what we're after, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
As Senezal explained to you when you had told him about the thrumming, and he
Yeah.
was telling you about the Dragon Soul weapons, it is most likely the Dragon Soul weapon making that sound.
I'm gonna cast message to send a message to Keothi and say, she's probably not gonna stop talking. Just grab her hand and come where I went. Just follow me.
Scoop her up and be like, Delia needs us. And I just sort of walk around the corner and go, yeah?
I think I found it. I think I found the door. It's not on the 4th floor though, it's on the 5th, but if you read this, and I point at the inscription, and I'll explain it as well. I'll say, remember the Geardu ruins with the thrumming and the dragon weapon, Nori?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's the same thing.
Then what are these other two?
Dead things, aging, and skeletons. But this is what we're actually after.
One of them had the metal woodman guardian as well.
Does the acid spitting guardian, right?
Could
And then-
they,
And
given
by the looks of the map,
logistically,
sorry,
Go ahead.
given the way the map is set up, 152 is directly beneath where the guardian is.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
so,
gonna be my guess.
They're
Is that they're
guarding it.
connected.
yeah.
So it's guarding the Dragon Soul weapon, it seems.
It's
They're all
probably all the same thing. They've probably just uncovered different like levels and areas of it, right? Like, but it's all probably
Maybe.
interconnected.
Which means
I guess
if
we just
can
have to
get in
pick
one
which door we go.
Yeah. if we get in one door, and we can defeat what's in front of that door, or behind that door, should I say, we can explore the rest.
I think we probably have a better odds against the acid spitting thing rather than a weapon of mass destruction.
Well, as far as you've been told, the Dragon Soul weapon should be
Dormant.
offline. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've been told
it
a lot
needs,
of
like,
things,
that.
though.
I think that we really
Senezal
should.
seemed fairly confident of that and probably would have sent you out to disable it unless he thought that it was offline.
Okay, yeah, no, that is true. Do you think,
I think
maybe
You're gonna have a very difficult time turning it off if it's on.
Do you think maybe if we try the bottom door, then there's a chance we don't even have to encounter the Guardian at all?
But then there's a chance that we find something that we're not expecting. I think maybe we should go back somewhere private and talk to Remy as well.
We should.
About
But I mean,
this.
either way, we're going to end up in that same room no matter what. So whatever's in that room, we're going to have to encounter anyway. I'm just thinking if we go through the bottom door, we can potentially... It's not guaranteed because we can't see in there, but we could potentially avoid what's above.
They've just
Can
get into a 20-foot door too.
Can we take some time to try to figure out find any other information for any of the other doors that are in that general area as well? Like to try and do a sweep of where it's like, okay, we think that these are connected. So maybe if we do and we look for these numbers and we look to see what information are for all of these doors, then maybe that'll...
Also, for this door, is there any kind of opening at all, even if it's tiny? Is there anything at all?
Sorry. So again, they're not doors. They're sealed off areas. But yeah. Just saying, don't go down there expecting just to swing it open.
Yeah. No, I know.
What do you mean?
Door, we mean a big lump of stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any like cracks or dislodged parts or anything that even something tiny could fit in or something?
We won't know till we get down
typically
there.
I think it's
the
like
way
it's
that
all
it was
sealed off because they're
described
like, we
to
don't want to.
Keothi and to Remy is that the stone is literally taken from the ground and grown into like an actual, not even a structure, but almost as if it was never open to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not like they collapsed the cave to close it.
Okay.
As for any of the other doors nearby, there doesn't, on the 5th floor at least, there's not very many other doors nearby. The 5th floor is still largely undeveloped at this point. They've developed in a few directions specifically, but they've not started like connecting the tunnels up in like a more like what's the word I'm looking for, cartwheel sort of look. Like typically they develop the spokes first and then they start going in a circle around it.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, we should probably reconvene with Remy then and let him know what we found. After, if you wanna search for more things,
Yeah, I was
sorry, we
gonna
can
say,
do that
can
first.
we maybe do a little bit more? Just
Do you all want to search
I
together?
want to get a lay of the land of all the doors. Yeah, of all the doors that are kind of around. I just want to gather as much information as possible, right? Because then maybe we'll know a little bit more. Like maybe it's like, oh, acid spitting here, but then also over here is like blah blah blah. You know?
Yeah,
Like
it's just-
maybe more information is better.
Just go for a group-wide search. I'll listen out for any other strange sounds and things as well.
Cool. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna try and find all the surrounding area doors and see if there's any other information that might benefit us.
On the 4th floor, or actually, you know what? Those of you doing that, make me an investigation check as well.
Can I give Xylia advantage? Is what I was gonna do.
It's fine.
Doesn't need it,
I
but-
would have said no, so go ahead and make your own roll.
Oh, okay. Tides of Chaos. Investigation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
It's a
thing I
good
did
job
it.
you did.
I didn't realize it was. I thought it was a question to yourself, not to me. 21, 16, and 19. Yeah, you all roll really well. You all kind of put your heads together and think about this and decide that maybe, like right now you're kind of looking at the linear tunnel going kind of just out like one of the spokes, and you start to look at the tunnels that are going and connecting to one of the other spokes. And a couple of the doors, not doors, you got me saying doors now, a couple of the areas that were sealed off weren't sealed off for anything, again, necessarily dangerous, but were sealed off because they came into contact with what appeared to be the sides or even the roof at times of other structures that were buried beneath the earth. So from what you can tell, this facility seems to be massive between the entrance, and as far as you can tell, it goes on further into the caves, down, and then bottoms out. So you kind of get the dimensions of this facility, and it continues out for, as far as you can tell, maybe about 600 feet deep.
So a lot more than the other one that we went to. The other one was smaller, or
The other one, you didn't really know the scope of the depth of it. You saw the
'Cause it
like
got
what was
caved in.
effectively
Yeah.
the top floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be the same thing. There could be a portal down that leads to the other portal.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of lit.
But okay. Cool. Well, I think let's go get Remy, I guess.
Yeah.
He probably has looked at all the pictures at this point.
Yes.
We
Remy,
might not need to
actually,
go to the
as you're
Alchemist Guild after all.
you're looking through pictures, Remy, go ahead and make me an investigation check yourself.
What do your fish boy I see?
Or do your fish boy eyes see?
Oh.
Yeah, they're nice pictures. There's a few sketches of like various things people have found on there, but nothing that really catches your eye.
I'm more thinking about, like, I started and I was like, oh, haha, like pretending I can read, and then like, oh, that letter looks like that letter, and it's sort of devolved into like, man, like if Chandi said hi, what would that look like? I bet it'd be really cool.
It's devolved into.
What Would like Chandi and Darnua like could we have like a little tea party where we just all talk? Like he's in dreamland.
I'll invite my friend too.
Who isn't out?
Yeah, let's get Orgel in.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Orgel and Chandi in the same room is
He's
probably not a good idea.
Orgel, Shandi, Shinov, and Darnu.
One hell of a tea party.
That's like you've got it's like fucking all over the fucking place on this axis.
Jesus Christ.
It's none of them are polar opposites to one another except Shinov and Darnua, but they're
Yeah, because like he's thinking about like Shinov and how like he doesn't really know too much about Shinov, but like she kind of has a thing with Darnua, but like, and then like said, oh, what would Darnua's realm be like? He's just elevator music in head.
la la. All right, but yeah, eventually you could reconvene together with all of your newfound information. And if you approach the door, the dwarf unlocks it and kind of just gives you each a once over, asks you to open up your packs, and takes a quick look in, nods, and kind of lets you go on your way.
Woo!
Is there
Sweet.
anything else I can help you with? Anything else in the library you wish to research, or was that it?
Nope, we're going to go to that first level and
Do our
do
job.
the job.
We appreciate your service.
We'll make very quick work of it.
It might take a little bit though.
Yeah, quick long work.
Depends. Quick long work.
We'll do a quick work of it, but then like a thorough check to make sure we
It's
actually
like
did do quick work of it.
thorough, long, short work check.
Yeah, the work itself will take like a minute or so, but the actual checks, that's a whole different story. Hey, kitty.
Sleepy boy.
I almost
just wanna rub
died
that
earlier
belly.
when Corb was like
Oh
just
no!
embracing the
Holding
cat. It was
Raimi,
adorable.
yeah.
Oh,
Adorable.
Look at, since we're showing off cats, this is what I've been doing. So Onyx is napping, but I've been sitting here and he just lets me touch his toe beans. Like
Yeah,
he
it's
doesn't really
cute.
care about it while he sleeps. So
well,
I've
cats,
just been touching his beans.
cats actually like it because when they need and stuff, it makes them feel like they're doing that even while they're asleep, so it comforts them apparently.
Oh, my cat don't touch her.
But
Khaleesi
it's
loves
a
it.
trust
I don't-
thing.
Mhm.
But she likes being pet on her stomach. Like she'll turn over and she'll be like,
Zammy does
Tummy.
that. Yeah.
Onyx
Ellie
likes
will-
when I massage the chocolate beans.
I'm gonna
Well,
rename
been up and
Khaleesi to
down.
Orgel.
I've been up and down a lot because certain
Why not creature?
certain beans have been trying to tip their water bowl over this whole evening.
See, creature, even though I know that's in like a D&D reference, it just reminds me of the fucking thing from Harry Potter.
Elf from Harry
That's
Potter.
why I.
Yeah.
That's what I said when you said creature. I was there like, so it's a house elf.
I want to say something super controversial, but I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter, so to me the reference doesn't even fucking stick.
I don't know like hardly any Harry Potter references.
quit
I've never
D&D.
read it. Or...
I'm out.
I'm out. My leg
Sorry.
is offended.
I tried it. I read the part of the first book and just couldn't get into it.
I'm gonna say
I
something even
read all
more.
the books, I've watched all the movies. I don't know.
I've watched some of the movies.
It didn't stick with me.
I'll say something even more controversial, that the movies are better than the books.
No, I'm quitting.
Yeah, I'm quitting now.
I'm out.
That's better than just saying I don't like it.
No. It is worse.
It's not that I found it
I mean,
bad. I just didn't find it.
I
can see that.
I
In
have
terms
no
of
opinion
fantasy,
on
it
it because
wasn't
I
much for
never
me.
read the whole thing. I just like wizards and sorcery, like that's not my like the part
I'll
of I
just
guess hot
fuck off
fantasy
then.
that
I read the third book 48 times.
actually,
Xylia and Nori leave the party very dejected.
Yeah.
while
Wizards and sorcery, okay.
I have read the whole series, God knows how many times. I've listened to the audiobook series 6 times, and that's long.
Corb, in
Yeah.
Man,
in the Goblet of Fire one, they literally become like tritons. They grow gills and
yeah, Corb
everything.
doesn't know. Corb doesn't know.
With
You just haven't
gillyweed.
watched the best one. Yeah, gillyweed.
my most intimate experience with Harry Potter was playing Quidditch World Cup on PS2.
I love
That was a fucking phenomenal
I
game.
played a lot
game.
of that game.
It was
I was
so
mint
good.
at that game.
Mm.
My most intimate experience with Harry Potter was my 5.5-hour tattoo.
I accidentally but like Rupert Grint, Daniel Radcliffe, and Emma Watson were all at Universal City Walk for something, and I like was there, so I saw them.
I love how, oh yeah, I just accidentally ran into the main cast of Harry Potter one day, you know? Yeah, sorry, I went to
was
dinner one
really-
day and just
it was
accidentally
really
bumped
ra-
into fucking Gandalf. It's nothing, no.
Yeah, it was really random. Like they were just there. Like they were there for some kind of thing for like.
Jesus.
I think it was because they were opening the Wizarding World. The Wizarding World, like part of the theme parks were opening, and so
insane,
they were
though.
there for something. And they
That's
were like,
impressive.
yeah, just walking in City Walk, and I was like, oh look, it's like the Harry Potter people, I guess. I was
I've-
like, this is surreal.
I've met all the animals, but that's it. I went to a Harry Potter studio. Yeah, the actual animals that were in the movie, like Fang, Hedwig.
I've been there
That's
like
cool.
Yeah, it was
I
cool.
think I've been there 3 times, and I want to go again because they add new things.
Yeah,
all the time.
The dog though, Hagrid's dog, genuinely looks like he hates life 99% of the time.
Oh no,
that's-
He's just so
because-
depressed now.
yeah.
But he's huge. The dog is
He's
massive.
massive.
massive, yeah.
It's absolutely huge. But anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
Yes.
I apologize.
Dungeons and
I regret
Dragons.
bringing this up.
Everybody
Yeah.
dies.
So
I actually want the receptionist, the library guy.
Yep.
I just want to kind of like get next to him and be like, actually, is like just the whole thing in Dwarvish? Are there any like translators that could?
Oh, well, if you need somebody to translate for you, who can provide. Somebody who can read for you? There
Yeah, I
are
was just-
some books in the collection that are written in other languages, very few in common, however. Most of the books we have in other languages tend to be older and either of a dialect of Dwarven that isn't spoken anymore, or some of the other ancient languages. We have a few Elven scrolls in our collections. We have even some Dweger works, if you believe that. But nothing so much in common.
I was just wondering if guys had a lot of information on the gods, maybe.
Oh
Certain-
yes, of course. We have plenty of religious texts pertaining to the gods.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have to do our job first, but maybe I'll be back.
Of course. Anyone is always welcome to come here if they wish to learn.
All right, thank you.
Wait, I thought that we could only go into this area if we had a job.
Only
No.
about the underground mining.
Oh,
The
okay,
tunnels.
okay.
You can learn about any topic you wish here, just not the restricted stuff, as that is restricted for the
Yeah, we
safety of
can't go
others.
to the restricted section
Yeah.
of the library.
No defense
Harry
against the dark
Potter.
arts here.
All right, and that wraps up today's session.
No. Oh,
Cool. Thank you for your time. We're gonna go take care of your sewer system.
Thank you. Your service is, again, appreciated.
always.
Yeah. Dude, Chairman, I need you to calm down.
He's losing his goddamn mind. He's sinking his claws into me because he doesn't want me to let go of him and stop petting his belly.
I'm just seeing that one fluffy leg every so often do this, and it's making me just want to do this.
It's so cute.
So I guess then we're going to the
Sewers?
thieves. I thought we were going to the Thieves Guild
We need-
next.
we
Yeah,
need
we
to
have to
talk
go
to
talk to
Roderick.
Roderick.
Oh. Okay.
Seems
Did Roderick
like...
tell me that we needed to just meet up with him again at the Thieves Guild, or did he give me somewhere else to meet with him?
He didn't give you somewhere else, so you would probably have to go to the Thieves Guild.
Sounds good. Back to this Thieves Guild. Maybe we want to talk to Kenneth really quick first?
I'm gonna stay
think-
outside.
I think Zillia should go back to the Adventurers Guild after the state that he came home in last night.
Well, I'll come with
Let's
you guys,
go drop
but
him.
I'll.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. I don't have to.
We can drop you off. We can drop you off, and then we can see if Kenneth is awake. I know he went to go take a nap, but
Mhm.
I had some questions, and I think that he might have some answers about
Do you want to leave me with
some
Kenneth?
of the weird stuff. Yeah, we're gonna drop you off at daycare with Kenneth, and then we'll go head over to the Thieves Guild.
Okay. I was meaning to have a chat with him anyway, so that works.
I was gonna say you can stay outside if you want to. I just didn't think you'd want to run into those people again.
Oh, I want to run into
I
them.
think they
alright.
might. Oh no! I think they might. I think they might
the
beat
first
you up again.
sacrifices.
Oh no!
How many was there? 20?
So maybe back to Adventurers Guild and then Thieves Guild after.
Yep, up to you guys if that's what you want to do.
I'll stay with Kenneth.
Just asking out of character, did you guys share like all this stuff with Remy of what you found, or?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
While
sorry.
we're walking back, probably we're like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't be overheard by the librarian.
Yeah, we went into the places we didn't need to go to, and here's the information we got.
Yeah, there was this big divine door thing.
I'm gonna say, in character, I don't know how I feel about the mysterious aging god door.
But then it goes into like a divine thing. It's like aging, but then into the divine.
Yeah, but like, what kind of like divine presence would just like turn you into an old person or a
Well, maybe
skeleton?
it's like
That's what we could find
old
out.
person skeleton bad stuff blocking the way to the divine door that's good stuff. I don't know.
We
Yeah,
also,
but then like,
didn't
what
you...
if we get like old in the process? Like, wouldn't we need some sort of?
do you-
Well, we can at least ask Kenneth about it first and see if he knows anything or if there's anything he could tell us about it, and then we could go from there. We don't have to go there. I just
And Remy, do you still
We
have
could
that
learn more
scroll?
info.
Did out of cat, you had a scroll of protection of good and evil too, right? I think.
I have a scroll of cure wounds.
Oh, is that it?
if we take a long rest, I can swap out one of my first level spells, warlock spells for protection.
I do
from
not-
good and evil.
If we
Yeah,
had
that's
a
fine.
a scroll of protection of good and evil, it's not in my.
I thought we did. I thought we had two, and I used one to learn it, and you kept one. I remember having the conversation about it, but I
Well,
could
we
be
had
wrong.
two.
No, we had scrolls that were like healing scrolls.
We had two cure wound scrolls. I have one, I believe.
I think you took both of
It's
them.
Yeah,
it's
you
gonna
have
be in
both.
my notes somewhere.
Okay. That's fine. I was just
I'm not looking at it
checking.
right now. I just, I could prepare to protect from good and evil, but I don't know if that's what we need. I want to live a longer life. I don't want to come out old.
Well, hey,
or
technically it would be a really long life, just not in time, I guess.
I have to agree with Remy. I'd rather go through like
Like
the fifth
it,
floor or the other door
it
and be able to
sounds-
smash things rather
it
than get
sounds
old.
really interesting. Don't get me wrong. I just
Yeah, so what if we just talk to Kenneth about it, see if there's anything he
Yeah.
knows about it. If he's like, I don't know, then we go, okay, cool, let's stay away from that because none of us want to get old.
there's nothing I can recall in like my religious knowledge about like a god that would
You can make me a religion check.
work
Oh,
with like
shit.
aging and stuff. It doesn't sound like any of mine. Though Darnu is about growth,
Aging
but I don't know about
specifically?
that.
No, maybe not.
Fucking hate Roll20, dude.
Aging doesn't sound like something you've heard of before.
Roll us an
Yeah.
actual dice and see what you roll.
uh,
Just out of curiosity. Does Roll20 just hate you?
Is the luck all in the dice?
What should be a 20, dude?
all right, got my.
Yep.
No.
No,
It's
wouldn't
an
have mattered.
8. 8 plus 3 would be a 11,
11.
so better, but
Still, not great.
It's just not with you. The luck is not with you
it's
today.
fine. It's just not my episode. I'm just gonna sit in the library and twiddle my
Read the
thumbs
picture books.
and read picture books and just be a happy boy.
Just read the BXP.
Yeah. Sarah, is there ever?
I mean, I can't
Isn't
read
it
the
still in a
BXP.
different language? Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
lots of pictures.
Yeah,
there's
trust
lots
me,
of
there's a
BXP
lot of-
pictures.
Not a single picture.
In my version,
Oh
there is.
no, there's so many.
Yeah, but that's your own fan fiction.
True. I did say I was gonna
Okay,
take time
I
to
just
do that.
Yeah, well, if you want
We're
to take
already
time out of your
messing-
night every time you go to bed, you're
we're
more than
already
welcome.
messing with powerful things we kind of shouldn't be. You know, gods are a whole different.
Yeah, so we'll just ask. We can ask Kenneth about it. If it sounds like something we don't want to deal with, then we could just be like, let's not go over there.
Because
and then we
already
won't go
we've
over
got like, I don't know, man. We've got like the
We got
bad god Juju vibes. Like, he's still got that oracle piece, and then like I've got this sword that has like savage on it. And it
there. You're
just...
talking out of character, I'm assuming. The
No,
Oracle
I'm
piece?
talking in character.
No,
Oh,
I-
you guys,
okay.
you guys know that
Yeah.
he still has the Oracle.
we
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. We don't know that he talked to Oracle in.
But
the
we know
cave.
that he still has the sigil.
We know
okay.
that we still have the Oracle symbol that we took, and as far as we know, Xylia hasn't gotten rid of it. But
Yeah.
but we don't know anything.
The Olga piece is
Mhm.
nothing though. It's not like it's magical or anything. And we checked it with.
The sword you have, though, I believe it's on one side it's Zavich, on the other side it's Chandi, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's
Just
so-
saying, it ain't all bad.
Yeah, it's not all bad, but it's weird.
Yeah.
And until Remy can look at it, he doesn't know if like
It's cursed or anything.
savage symbols on Chandi things strange. I don't like-
They are polar opposites. One is the moon,
that'd
the
be
other
like-
one's
That'd be
sun.
like if there was an adventuring party with a follower of Shinov and a follower of Darnuin, and it's something.
I would argue probably a bit drastically worse if it was Zavich and Chandi.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fighting.
Yikes.
But anyways, you do return to the guild fairly quickly. It's like a 5-minute walk. Kenneth is not awake yet. It's still like a little bit before noon at this point. And Kenneth went to bed when you guys woke up.
Yeah, so it's only been like 3 or 4 hours.
He's gonna be hungover.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's going to be real hungover. It's been a while since he's been hungover because he normally just stays drunk. That's been his process. It's not a good
Do
one.
we wait for him to wake up so we can talk before we go talk with
You
Roderick?
could always try and wake him up as he's passed out.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm going over to Kenneth's door. I'm knocking on it. Sleepy head. Hello.
Let me
There's
know if I need some water.
There's this audible
Hello?
growl on the other side of the door. Nori, if you don't let me sleep before we have our talk, I'm going to strangle you.
But you did, and that's not very Shinova of you.
I will I will bring you back to the goddess of death.
My god.
But you got the nap, but we gotta talk to you about these doors. There's skeletons, and you get there's skeletons, and you get old if you look at them. But then there's Kimmit, there's a door. There's a tall celestial door. I don't know when you went to go visit Shinova if you saw her door, but she likes tall
Midway
celestial
through your
doors.
sentence, the door opens, and he's looking at you, not enthused, but certainly curious. And he looks. His eyes are just completely bloodshot, and baggy, and his skin has this like sickly white look to it. But he looks at you with like kind of squinting eyes, and he's like, "Better not be making this shit up."
No, it's a door. Can I put my hands on him? And would Cure Wounds do anything to him?
Can try.
I'm just gonna be like,
Remy's doing the same thing. He's like, should I lay on hands this man?
Well, actually, what does healing light do?
Same thing as
it's just healing
energy.
There is one
for something like this. This is more like a status affliction, so it'd be more like
we have an antitoxin with that.
I don't have anything like lesser restoration though. I don't have anything that would be.
Do you want me to pop to the Alchemist Guild and get a hangover cure?
Cure other stuff too, though. Can't lay on hands like take away ailments or status affliction.
It can.
I have a hangover cure. It's called the Prairie Oyster. Just get me one downstairs and I'll drink it up.
Cool. Let's do it. Celestial door, and I just grab his hand and I pull him downstairs.
Okay.
I mean, if this would count as he's like affected by a disease or a poison, I actually could.
Technically, alcohol is poison. So
alcohol in the D&D universe is considered poisonous for the effects of like trying to resist.
There you go. Put your hands all over him.
Hey man, do you want the oyster, or do you want me to just? I can like probably do a better job and a lot faster than the oyster.
Yeah, if it's fast.
Okay. I will use 5 points of my lay on hands to fix this poor ailing man.
The healing energy washes through him and visibly helps him, as you can see a lot more color come into his face, and the bagginess under his eyes sort of dissipates a little bit, but he still looks incredibly tired. That's actually really helpful. Thank you. I might actually be able to stay awake. Thank you.
She'd appreciate you having the fun though. She's not gonna.
All right. So, door, skeletons, divine door. You said.
Mm-hmm. I'll go into I will explain it to him. I'll explain it to him. Blah 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 blah.
I take it you didn't get a look at it or anything.
No, we haven't been down there yet, silly. We're like doing. It's called recon.
Maybe they had a sketch or something. I don't know.
I don't think so. Keothi, did you see a sketch of any kind?
No, there was nothing there. It was just numbers, man. And a lot of writing.
Yep.
I mean, Nori, to me, a divine door. I mean, come on. I know both you and I know of one, at the very least.
Oh, so is it like, I don't know, does Shinova have those? Does Shinova like put doors down places and she's like, ooh, and then people are like, ooh.
As far as I'm aware, but
yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe other gods do similar, but I'm pretty sure hers is kind of specific.
Yeah, but where it would be like, oh, let me suck up your life energy, skeletons. Like, what's that about? I don't remember. I mean, I was kind of close to Shinova's door, and I mean, I woke up pretty tired, but I don't know if it was like that. I don't feel old.
I don't think her door has anything like that.
So could it be like something in front of a door that's her door? I don't know.
Maybe it's not the door itself. Maybe it's some sort of security measure.
I mean, they mentioned that there's like, you go down deep enough, there's portals to like the Underdark and stuff. Do you think the door could be like a potential gateway into something?
Maybe it leads to one of the gods' realms. It would be a little bit too easily accessible.
That'd be kind of cool. We could all go. I could show you guys what I was telling you about with Shinova's place with the big door and the stars and stuff. We could like all go over there and hang out.
I don't
It doesn't-
recommend that.
Yeah.
So one thing as a cleric I can guarantee you is that you are safe from the gods so long as you are on Aberranth. They can't touch us here physically. If you go into their domain physically, that could be bad news.
Even Chanel?
I've never even heard of somebody being able to do it, but they are not allowed to interfere with physical beings in Aberranth using their own power.
She did mention something like that when I was talking to her before, because I've been over there. Physically? Not physically? Half
No, neither of us have technically been there physically.
Okay.
If you're referring to the time I think you're referring to. And he kind of looks at everybody else and he's like, was I allowed to share that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, she said that she talked Shinoves, but like if
yeah,
you're
they
going
know
to
that
like
I was
Shinoves realm, that's kind of like no offense, I'm sure Shinove's great, but like, isn't that like where you go when you die? If you're going physically.
I'm not entirely up to speed on the specifics of it, but she is. I don't think you go to her domain specifically, but she takes care of your soul when you die.
You go to like the threshold and then you pop over in there. Like you go to her domain and then she's like, here you go. And then she puts you through a big old door.
It's
and then
just
apparently she was like, what happens after? But she was very vague about it. So, you know.
Question.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The door that you saw when you went to visit Shanov, you have no idea what's on the other side of that?
No, I don't think I've been. I've just been in that middle space. I've just been like, right, so it's like, here's me and us, and we're here, and then there's like, here's the hallway, and like that, let's say like that's like where Shanov is, like Shanov's the hallway, and then like you get to the other door, but I don't think I haven't gone over to that door. Was the door open the first time I went?
Nope.
No, it's always been closed. So it's like she closes that. That's a closed door.
See,
and then I guess like...
That's kind of scary if there's a very similar door locked away.
Well, we don't really know. All we know is that the door like radiates some kind of like divine energy, but I don't know. I haven't seen that door, so I don't know if it looks like Shanov's door or not. It just, I mean, it was a big door.
Edric mentioned that a group of expeditioners or enterprisers broke into this door. It says
they went through
I actually
the door.
have a note that the doors are open. The doors are open.
Yep, they're not closed.
Oh shit!
They're not closed, and skeletons are coming out.
Oh, dude. So maybe we have to go then, because if that's one of Shanov's if that's one of Shanov's doors and it's open, I feel like Shanov would be like, "Hey, close that door." Did you grow up in a barn? You know.
Isn't that the one that some guy broke in thinking that it was gonna have riches behind it and just left it open?
So I mean, I'm like turning over and looking at Kimmeth, and I'm like, skeletons coming out of a door. I feel like that's the opposite of what Shanov wants. She wants to keep her skeletons in her closet.
But a key takeaway from that is that people did approach the door without immediately aging and dying. You're not entirely sure on the specifics of how exactly.
Yeah.
So wait. If this is her door, maybe this is some sort of entryway into the next life. It would make sense if people get old and like die in this door, and maybe she doesn't want it open, and it would.
That's what I'm thinking now. So maybe we have to go to this door, because if we leave the door open and all skeletons are coming out.
Well, here's another thing, right? So it seems like you get to like have this talk, like direct one-on-one with her. Could you maybe ask her if, hey, there's this door, sounds a lot like that door I know. It's open.
The
Would
way-
you like us to close it?
Yeah, so the way that she was talking to me, it seemed like she was kind of like, hey, in like dire circumstances, like
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a hey girl, what are you doing this weekend? Do you wanna go get some drinks or something? Kind of a like a connection. I think it's like a oh no, it's all over kind of a thing, but maybe like I don't know if Kimmeth like maybe Kimmeth has like has a little bit more of like a hey girl type of a thing, whereas
Well,
like
looks
I'm
my
like a
camera
like
got a different time again.
like we're new
Did.
friend like well we're new old friends, we're old new friends, like we met at a party once and then like we just were like oh hey I remember you at that party kind of a thing, whereas I think Kimmeth is like hey, how did that trip to your parents this weekend go? Kind of a connection with her, maybe a little bit more.
I can sort of ask her kind of a is this a good idea type questions.
Yeah, do you want to go like?
Yeah, because like at the
"Hey,
same, because here's
I
the
think
thing.
you left your front door open. Do you want me to close it and lock
Yeah,
it
because
for
like
you?"
if she didn't want you to close it and then we went close it, that
Could be very
Damn.
bad.
Yeah, it just seems like with from like how she was kind of talking, like she seems to like to keep all of her skeletons like on one side of the door, and it seems like they're going to the other
yeah,
side
I
of
mean,
the door.
I don't think anybody wants skeletons running around the mines. That seems
Also, don't forget we are kind of making a lot of assumptions here. This might not even be her door.
well, that's the thing. Like,
Well, so I think Kimmeth could be like, hey, is that your door? And then he could follow up with like, hey, do you want us to close that door? Maybe he could do something.
Yeah.
Kimmeth, could you she didn't seem like she wanted me to be like putting her on speed dial all the time. So like could you maybe be like, hey,
Yeah,
like send in an inquiry, file a ticket, submit a ticket
He
to the
pulls
system?
out his little like handful of knuckle bones and sort of sets them on the table.
Oh yeah. Do this. Can I throw them again?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I put a little bit of
So-
pizzazz on them.
Let's ask. Should we?
Let's ask her if
close
it's her
the
door first.
door?
Her door first. Her door first. Is it hers?
you can't.
If I ask too many questions, I can get misinterpreted results. The more I ask.
Okay, so only one question.
How are you today?
Yeah. It
I say
becomes harder
Kimmeth-
to read.
Kimmeth knows the spell. I'll let him ask the question.
Well,
Okay.
do you want to formulate the question? It's more of a more like will this turn out okay for us sort of question.
Yeah, I think it should be like, would it be
Should
in
this
your
door-
interest for us to go close this door? Right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Would it be in the interests of Shinov for us to go and close this door? Nori, if you don't mind doing the honors.
So you roll it out over the table, and he takes a couple minutes to look at the dice or the knuckle bones rather in this case, and determine exactly what it says.
This one looks like a penguin. That one looks like an angry gorilla. And
Hey, look, it's a big panther with a scar on its face.
Best I can tell, positive outcome
if we close the door.
to go down there and close it.
Yeah, we should. So I think Shinov wants us to close that door. I think that might be a good idea. Like, right, if you left the door open to your home, wouldn't you want your
But
neighbor to go close it?
Also a little bit of woe. So a little bit of negative outcome.
We need to
Like
plan
close
and
this
prepare
door,
for
but it might be
this.
like a little difficult.
We might not have the full picture of what exactly is needed.
But she wants us to close the door.
Yeah, seems that way.
There's just probably going to be more planning and preparation than we realize.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like get
the
brownie
aging
points
thing.
with Shinov right now. So in case you guys didn't know, so I was talking to her and she's like, hey, like go out there and be the face of me kind of like how Kimeth does. So that's like what I'm trying to do, and so I think this would be like a really good first step.
But okay, maybe I don't know how Shinov works. Maybe we're in different, but like you also want to take care of when you do that. Like you can't just be like, oh my god, I'm gonna go like brownie points, because you might like overstep your bounds and then they kind of get mad at you. And
yeah. But that's why we had Kimeth ask. We were like, hey, you want us to close this door? And she's like, for sure, bud.
I'm down to help close the door. Don't be mad at me, Darnua. I'm just trying to help. But like, so I was thinking maybe when we had next free time, I was going to go back to the library and do some research on Savage, and maybe we can do research about Shinov
so
doors.
we need to like pay Roderick for two different things. Like we pay him for this one, and then we pay him for the next one.
That, or we just postpone going in there like
at
right
all
now.
until and do more
we
research.
Go find the rest of the. It's up to you guys. I'd say if we can get it done in one trip, that'd be cool.
What if?
But it also means that we'll be more tired.
And it'll also mean we have
like,
much less
sleep down
resources too, though. We sleep down there?
Yeah.
But it's out of bounds. Like, I'm sure they'd probably check it, no?
They
That'd
have
be a pretty...
patrols, I'm sure.
I think doing it at two separate times is a lot.
Roderick might know, though, like good places to kind of hide.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask him. Maybe we'll be like, hey, we got some doors we want to go look at.
Like, here's the
all
thing.
in one or not?
Positive outcome, cool. But a little bit of woe outcome on the scale of like a god might be big woe outcome.
Yeah, but like,
the issue that I have.
What if Chandi was like, "Yo, my door's open"? Would you just be like, "Well, Chandi, there's a possibility that there's a little bit of woe coming from closing your door, so I guess I can't go do it."
I think it's a good idea to close
not that I wouldn't go do it, but I would better prepare, because if I fail, right?
Oh yeah. I'm all good with preparing. That doesn't bother me. I'm good with that.
I'm down to go do the door. I just don't want to be like, okay, let's go to Roderick, let's go to our door, and by the way, we're just gonna go run into this door.
Yeah. So maybe we talk to Roderick next and get the DL, and then we can decide from there if we do more research now, or if we go do one door, come back, or go do the main thing, come back, do research, and then go do door.
I think personally it'd be better to do it that way, purely because I mean, you got to think we've taken down bandit camps, maybe a couple of large creatures here and there. We're taking on two really big tasks here, and will we have the resources in one trip to be able to do both? Probably not.
We would if we slept down there.
Yeah, I
Sleeping
think
down there sounds like a bad idea to me.
We should just ask Roderick, right? Like, hey, while we're down there, are there safe places to spend the night and get your rest? Cool. If so, maybe we can look at that as an option. If not, then we make two trips. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's super impossible to go down there twice. It's just a matter of how are we gonna
of monies. But if we finish up the sewer thing, we'd probably make enough money from the sewer thing to put back into going back down again. So
yeah, definitely chat with him. I'll stay here while you do that, though.
So be sure you write down these plans, because we're probably not going to get to them this session.
Yeah, I mean, we're already over time.
Yeah, and I think we need to wrap up.
Wrap up at this point.
Yeah,
I'll write down. We're going to go to...
And Fletch needs to go pick up Adam.
And it's a 20-minute drive, so that'll be fun. 20-minute there, 20-minute back.
No. Hopefully he's not gotten past 7.
Oh, I don't care. If he's going to be ill, I'll stick his head out the window on the drive back.
Carpet bomb the neighbors.
Oh, God.
There's a place.
That was a good session.
Yeah. Lots of interesting experiences with gods.
Yeah.
Hey, Coyote just wants to know what's in it for her. Shutting Shinov's doors doing absolutely jack for her.
I'm genuinely curious, out of character, obviously, how it'd affect, like, even Xylia's short so far relationship with Orgel? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
Am I doing something really fucking bad here by helping this?
Yeah, we need to ask these questions next time, I think. I think we need to ask these questions next time.
That's why I want to stay back and talk to Kimeth a little bit, I think.
I'm gonna get a dream and it's gonna be Dardu and she's gonna be like, you can close any of my doors? Like, what are you? You're out here helping Shinov? And Rebby, who just like wants to help everybody, that's part of his own, is like, well, it didn't seem like it was bad to me.
I mean, there's just because they're diametrically opposed, there's nothing in the teachings of Darnua that says Shinov is bad either, right? Like,
yeah. The opposite doesn't necessarily mean like against. Like, he's doing this because he doesn't see
any of the gods
evil.
Who are separated like lawful and chaotic, they're typically not really at odds with each other. Apart from Horatius and Orgel, they really don't like each other.
Yeah.
But that's for their own shit.
Well, fuck.
Time for Kyo to decapitate. I'm just kidding.
And like,
she's not like super zealous.
Reduce.
What you're telling me is it's going to be a great idea to use Xylia as one of the blood sacrifices so that I get to talk to her.
Listen, I can easily reduce you to half your size.
No, she had to fail her saving throw, which she probably won't.
Fireball. Always works.
We can vibe just because we like different gods. We can
no,
vibe.
we totally vibe. Like, because I'm also thinking about like, so.
Huh?
I wouldn't say he likes Orgel.
Who, me?
He's been, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it feels like he doesn't know that much, but like, no, like for Remy at least, right? So like he follows these two gods and is like at least like very respectful of a third and like others, but like I'm also taking into account like oath specifically that he took, which is Oath of the Ancients, and it's like you help people like regardless of, as long as it's like a good thing and it makes the world a better place, it doesn't matter, you just help them. Like, so he sees this as that, like, it's...
I can understand where you're coming from with that for Remy, but like in Kyoti's eyes, she's there like, shutting a door is not proving anything for me. It's not giving me anything, and it doesn't make me it doesn't make me a big warrior. So why am I going?
Yeah, you're not getting paid to do it. You're not
fight skellies.
You can't give a blood sacrifice from a skeleton. They don't have veins.
So I was thinking about the fucking acid spitting thing as well. It doesn't have a soul.
What are we gonna do? me and Xylia were like, well, how are we supposed to do these sacrifices?
I was
how are we
thinking
supposed to sacrifice them?
When you said it was more human than other constructs, I was like, oh, well, maybe it does.
Yeah, if it's humanoid, it makes you think that maybe it has a soul in there.
Yeah, possibly.
Somewhere.
What if I sacrificed the dragon soul? Oh, okay.
You'd have to talk to her, but...
Would you like the world to end?
Dragons are rare and very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as you saw, like you're able to sell a dragon corpse for a lot of money.
Let me note that down
this
real
is
quick.
Just me being thinking a little bit like with Remy's mindset, but it'd be like, well, if the evil god was like 20 sentient souls and he got a dragon soul out of it, he'd be like, that's awesome. You still owe me 19 more souls.
Oh,
probably.
Damn, yeah, right?
Let's see, that would kind of be like Horatius, like being like a letter of the law, whereas Orgel would be like,
it's fucking good enough for me.
He's like, that's pretty dope. That was pretty delicious. I feel full.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Also, I'll fucking DM you the question. It's fine, because I want it to play out and be like still a mystery to everyone else and not just a heads up, basically. So I'll DM you something afterwards.
I like where this is going. I can't wait.
It's nothing huge. It's just it's literally just a quick. I'll DM you it now so you can respond.
All of this religious stuff is like really interesting. Like Remy doesn't know anything about the Orgel stuff, but like I made like the whole like Shinov thing with Nori. He is just like, he wants to have so many talks.
Yeah, because Nori's just like, yeah, I just went over and hung out with Shinov for a little bit, you know, just chilling.
I just like how
I do enjoy the fact that you guys have kind of attached yourselves to the god stuff, because like now we've got the like super kind of sci-fi old age technology stuff as well as the gods happening all at once, and it's two big worlds colliding here.
I like the god side of it, because to me, like, it makes you it helps me to understand where the characters are coming from a person who's never played Dungeons and Dragons before. that's easy to see where they're going with it. Plus, it means I've got one, and I get to sort of have a different angle.
every we're just gonna have like the debate table when we go to like the inns, and we're just gonna. She's just gonna be like, Horatius is the better one, and I'm gonna be like, slams fist on table, cargo.
Is this what? And then we realise that we're all going too far into it and start playing that damn card game.
True. I sent you the
Was it
DM.
Bubble?
Uno.
I don't mind if you answer out
Uno
loud.
God
Uno.
edition.
I don't mind if you answer
Yeah.
out loud or via DM.
Yeah, you could do that.
Sweet.
Totally.
Okay,
That's
sick.
totally allowed.
Sweet. Good to know.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Good to know.
I'm gonna have to go because now he's trying to type over his water bowl again. Okay.
All right.
Okay. It was a fun
Awesome.
session. I'll end the recording now, but thank
definitely.
you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.